Okay, I think I am live and I've got a few cables loose. Oh, microphone is pointed away from me. This should be a little bit better. And am I in the right place? I think I'm in. Okay, I think I'm in the center of the screen now. Okay, good. Okay, and let me just tell the Discord crew, I've already prepared my message for them. Oh, I'm in the almost. About to paste that in the wrong place. Let's see. That should go in the general. Okay, everyone can see me. I think I'm a little bit. Camera's a little bit. I've moved it, so I have to stay a little bit to the left compared to where I normally sit. But hopefully, you won't see me like drifting to the right. Okay. I am online. Let's get that music going. Hi, Cami Luna. I love seeing Cami Luna in chat. Cami Luna, Koyo, Hera, Cube, all stars. They always help me out so much in these streams. Where are my sound effects? My background music. Yeah, that's it. That's what I want to hear. I'm going to turn it up in my microphone a little bit, or my earbuds. I really prefer to do the stream when I can hear some music, just because it relaxes things. Otherwise, it's kind of a silence. I don't want that. One more thing, I can hear a fan over there, and it is distracting me a little bit, so I'm going to be right back, and I'll turn that fan off. Let's see, 1 second. Great. Okay, I think we're all good. Yeah, I have it's not obvious to you. Maybe I'll show it to you. It is a mess on my desk. Okay, before I tell you all that, what are we doing today? We are covering the XP Pen Artist Pro 22 Gen 2. Model number MD220QH. Okay? And I don't know, I have been delaying talking about this tablet for so long. I haven't fully written my notes. I have some notes written, but it's a shame that I haven't done that because this is actually one of my top picks. This is actually one of the, I think one of the best tablets you can get right now. Now, of course, tablets vary depending on which unit you have, but I like this one. I do like this one. Let's see. Oh, Cami Luna says, I just loaded my YouTube front page and you were here. Okay. And we have who? Cami Luna, and we have Snow Leopard, and then let me just ping. I think they know in the chat that I'm live. Let me just double check. Okay. So, because people's names are different in Discord and in YouTube. So we have Yanni, Soph. There's so many different names. That's all one person. And Snow Leopard, is that you? Or am I incorrect? You just gotta let me know. Okay. Let's see. Now, technically speaking, this is not an unboxing video, and because I've already unboxed it many months ago, but I'm gonna do the full test here. Okay. Because I have found out that the live stream is a good way to get everything done and respond to questions, and I'm more motivated to do it. Megabytes of Frem. I am. Are you testing the tablet I own now? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I apologize for not doing this. Sometimes, it's just there's a lot of mental effort in my head to get over the inertia of writing things down. Doing it as a live stream again helps me overcome that inertia, and I get energized by the audience. Okay, and you know what? I'll tell you my plan for today is actually to do multiple live streams. One for this tablet, maybe one for another tablet, because there's so many questions that have to get answered, right? Hoping for my own sake it's not dog shit. It'll be fine. And I think I like this tablet. I recommend it. I think people should know about it. What's weird is XP Pen does not really advertise it as much as they should. Okay, so we're gonna take care of that. Okay, give me a second. I'm just gonna do a slight camera adjustment, and then I'll start showing you things. Okay, so one more back zoom. And I'm back. Okay, now I'm a little more centered. There's like a natural position I sit, so I just want to make sure it's easy, okay? Jessica on the Discord is asking, and so let me reply. She's asking me, is this a new tablet? It was released either last year or this year, but I've never really talked about it. Actually, I've talked about it, but I've never shown it, okay? Let's see. This felt. Hi, Konto. Hi, Konto. Camille says this felt so out of nowhere since the Pro 22 Gen 2 isn't something that was just released. Yeah. This is unusual for me. I actually am thinking about doing multiple streams this weekend, like one stream for this tablet, one stream from another tablet, and actually I'm thinking about doing streams for really old tablets, right? Because again, it's just an easy way for us to get through these topics, and it put a nice hole in my, this is not a cheap tablet, but it's definitely an amazing value for its price. It's relatively, doesn't cost much, and we'll take a look at the cost. Snow Leopard says, I get scared to buy because I need one with good longevity. Yeah, I hear you, but if it's good, I will buy this baby soon. So, it's hard to say, it is hard to say if a tablet will last forever, but this is a very sturdy tablet for sure, and it's worked well for me. Okay, now let me show you my setup today so everyone's clear on what's happening. And I'm gonna have to turn on, of course, hang on. I have to do the overhead camera, so of course, like I have to do every stream, I have to tell the overhead camera to use autofocus. I'm using an OBSBot Tail 2. Oh, and I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry. Okay, continuous focus. And then let's get the camera. Okay, you can see the camera. There we go. Okay, so let me show you what's going on here. And where's my remote control? Okay. This is a weird setup, but this is, I was so proud of this setup. So what do you see? The tablet's in front. We're actually not going to talk about the tablet. And we're not going to talk about this either. Okay. My Linux machine. This is what I was streaming Osu on a couple of days ago. So what you're seeing is several monitors. And can I zoom out even more? Hope so. Okay, I can't. That's fine. So I just want to show you how complex this stream is. There are four monitors from your perspective. The top one is a teleprompter. There's a Mac Studio, which you might be able to make it out. If I can move my mouse, there's a Mac Studio. Like right, can you see it? It's like right here, right? And then it's between the two monitors on the right. And then there's the teleprompter on top. And there's another machine, Minisform HX77G, which is on the left, okay? So what's making the stream interesting is I've modified the setup. So what you're seeing on the teleprompter is the video signal that's being sent to through my streaming thing, right? So let's just focus on three monitors here. The two monitors on the right are Mac. And the two monitors on the left are Windows. Okay, and you're probably wondering how can one monitor do both? And the truth is I can switch the bottom monitor between the Mac and Windows. See? I'm switching between. So if I need to test Mac, I need to test Windows, I've got both options here. Okay, so it's a little bit of a new thing I'm doing, which will make it easier for me to test because I can see more clearly what I'm doing and talk to you about it. Okay, so let's get started and talk about this tablet. So give me a second, I need to bring up a box. Because again, this isn't an unboxing video, but you should see the box. Mac, sorry, I need to, okay. Okay. And here is the box. And, oh, it's 22 inches, so it's a little bit of a big box. Okay. Wrestling it, that's it. Okay, Artist, I'm going to put it in front of my face for a second. Artist Pro 22 Gen 2, okay? And continuing XP Pen's tradition of having artwork, which I highly approve of, and I enjoy that they do that. And this is just a basic tablet. There's nothing special about the box. It's just very, very good. I will say it does come with a stand. I think the stand was pre-installed, okay? We'll take a look at the table, the box contents, but there's nothing really right now to really fixate on. I'm gonna need a pen in a second, so let me get that pen. Okay, 1 second. Okay, now I'm back, and I've got a bunch of X3 Pro pens. Okay, we'll figure out which exact one came with this tablet. Let's begin by. You can't see what I'm doing, so I apologize for that. I just need to straighten out a few things with the Windows machine, with the displays. Let's see, identify. Got to switch these two, apply, and then set the resolution correctly for both. You're going to use it with the VESA arm Snow Leopard? I think this would work well with the VESA arm. I would just tell everyone, remember, no VESA arm will make it not wobble. They all have a little bit of wobble. So you have to do a little bit extra to, you know, there are techniques you can use to make it wobble less. Let's see, that's at 150, good. And this is 4K at 150. Or, oh no, it's not doing 4K. Okay, no worries. Let me set both of them to be the same resolution. 1920 by 1080. Keep changes. Okay, that should almost work. That's 125, and that's will be 125. So I know you can't see what I'm doing. I'm just clicking around to figure some things out here. Just setting up my equipment. Okay, I think that's good. Okay. So let's begin. I'm just going to plug it in, and we'll show you a few things. Let me move this keyboard out of the way. Hopefully it works with Bluetooth as well. Okay, I'm going to have to use the cable for that one. No worries. Let me move it out of the way. Cami Luna, it came with one pen. It came with one pen. Thank you for asking. That is a little unusual. The Pro displays from XP Pen tend to come with two pens. Okay. So, I just want to show you a little bit of what's going on here. And for this, I'm going to need the overhead. And I'm going to need to get the overhead a little lower. Oops, not that. Okay, so this is the back of the tablet. I just want to make sure. So you're looking at it. The correct. It's not upside down. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It looks like it is because the stand is moved up all the way. It's normally here. Okay. So I want you to pay attention is how this thing connects, because what's the number one mistake people make when they get the pen display? They don't know how to connect it. So let's be clear on it. Okay. Okay. So this is the power cable. So there are 4 ports here. Okay. And I really like the way XP Pen does this. There's a power port. There's a USB-C port. Okay. There's a HDMI port, and then there's a what do you call this? For a headphone jack, right? And that can be kind of useful for some people. So obviously we don't care about the headphone jack. We really care about these 3 ports. Like a normal 22-inch display, this requires a decent amount of power. So you will always have to use it with the power adapter. And I'm really happy they just provided a specific power adapter, which means now there's 2 ways of configuring this. Either use HDMI for video signal and the USB-C port for data, or you can just use the USB-C port for data if your computer supports USB-C doing DisplayPort and data. Now mine does, or it should. So we'll test it out. Okay, so let's put this down. Okay, and it is, it's in, let me, I want to talk about the stand. So I've only occasionally mentioned the stand, but this is a very solid stand. And it's pre-attached, so you don't have to screw it in. It's already there. You can, of course, take it off, but I like that they pre-attached it because, again, it just saves you one more headache when you get the tablet set up, okay? And I really like the stand because it's big enough that, and you got to see my hand doing this. Let me zoom out. Okay. And, okay. What it means is I can just put my hand here, and I'm not doing this business, okay? I'm just putting it like sort of parallel to the desk, and you just put your hands like that, your fingers, and this, right? You just clip it in, and it locks into different places, right? So it's got really good range of motion. Right? It can go really low to really high. Okay? Like when you put it up all the way, is it all the way? Yeah. It is, it's like you can technically put it all the way up high where it's going to fall over. So be careful. But if you give it 1 stop more or 2 stops more, it is almost vertical. Okay? It is almost like just a whiteboard in front of me. So I'm going to put it at a little more comfortable angle, really one that's better for the camera, so you don't see the glare. Now, speaking of the glare, it's got a nice anti-reflective coating. Again, as it is with these cameras, you see more glare than I do, but it's nicely diffused. It's much darker actually on the glass, so not a problem. Okay. Now let's do the exciting part, which is getting this thing plugged in. And by the way, I'm of the belief that all tablets should have touch these days. Now this one does not, but and that's okay, but I just think it's an awesome feature. Okay, that should be a decent place to leave it. Okay. Now it's not on. I gotta figure out where the on button is. It's one of these, but I think this is on and brightness up, down. So let's turn it on and see if it does what it's supposed to do. Is it plugged in? Oh, I'm using the wrong power adapter. I'm using the one for the 22 Plus, which is not the same resolution. It's a lower resolution. I need the one for this one. So hang on a minute. I gotta find that one. Okay, and that's a good reminder. We need to get the right cords when we do things. So I found the right one. This is definitely for the Artist Pro 22 Gen 2. And just again, pro tip, if you have cables that come with your tablet, put some tape on them so you don't lose it, okay? Because there's nothing like having a bunch of USB-C cables and you don't know which one goes to which product, and you don't want to plug in the wrong cables for sure. Okay, let's get this here. So that's the first thing. We've learned that you can't use the 22 Plus's power adapter with this. Let's see if this works. Okay, I know it had some effect because I heard my computer beep. Now let me hit the button. Okay. Now my computer is thinking about this. Uh-oh. There we go. There we go. So it is working. It is working. Fantastic. Okay, again, it's a USB-C cable and the power cable. That's what's... And my computer's USB-C port supports DisplayPort. It supports data. It certainly does not have enough power, which is why we had to use the power cable. Okay. I think that was me, Cami, the Discord. Yeah, and I see Cami's comment. Right now, the Pro 19 and the 24 have 2-pen setups, but the Pro 14, 16, 22 have 1 pen. That is weird, and I wish actually Pen would standardize on that. Is this a new model? Not very new, meaning it's in 2024 or 2025. I can't remember, right? But it's so rarely talked about, which is really weird because it's one of the best. I mean, I recommend this one. Okay, I do recommend this tablet. And I do use it. I do use it. So we'll actually talk about that today. Okay. While we're doing this is a new computer I set up. So let me just do a few changes here. I'm going to change Task Manager to... oh, not that. I did the wrong thing. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is make sure this is set. The desktop is set correctly. So let me do Identify. Okay, so 3 is in front of me. 1 is on top. Okay, so it's more like this. This is what's actually going on. Okay, so let me apply that. And then I'm going to change this not the resolution, but the, what do you call it? This, yeah, exactly, Snow Leopard. It's just like, it's rarely talked about. And I don't know why. Like, even XP Pen doesn't really mention this. Richie Animation, this is not 4K. This is, actually, we're looking right at the resolution. It's, what do they call it? WQHD or 2.5K. So 2560 by 1440. Okay? And I'm going to change this to be a little bit bigger just for my eyes. Great. And I'm going to change this background from this, whatever the heck this is, to something a little less busy. I think it's personalized. Let's go to background and do... I don't want Windows Spotlight. I just want a solid color. I don't want black because it's going to make it look too much glare. Maybe not that intensely blue. This is okay. It looks probably more blue to you. It's slightly more green to my eyes. Now that's not the that's the camera, not this tablet. Okay, so this works, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Okay, and let's just see what's happening. Let's see, I want... Oh, yeah, this is the overhead. Yeah, there we go. This is the overhead. Okay, I think we're all good. And I'm actually going to do this review. Let's see. Nick says, there were a few reviews. I think Tio reviewed it, and his conclusion was very complimentary. For the price, it's one of the best screen tablets you can get. Yes, yes. I think the 24 Pro Gen 2 models dropped not too long after an XP Pen had put more attention. Yeah, I can't remember the exact timing which came which, but like, yeah, all the focus was on the 24 inches, which I was not really that happy with, to be completely honest, right? I got the 24 Gen 2 165 hertz, and I was like, you know, I wasn't happy with the tilt compensation. Like, it wasn't bad, it just wasn't perfect. And it's something XP Pen tends to struggle with. And 165 hertz, I don't see the benefits. It didn't improve pointer lag much. And it gets the screen very warm. Okay. Actually, Camulina, that's exactly right. That's deliberate. I actually was aiming for the Windows 95 look. So actually, now on this topic, when I first came to Microsoft, I don't know why I did this, but when I set up my Windows machine, the what do you call this? The taskbar color, I would set that to like orange. I know this is gonna sound crazy when I tell you, and I set the background to purple. And I think I was probably the only Microsoft employee that had such crazy colors. But I quit that after a while. Okay. We're going to use this computer to do our examination of things and create content. So give me a second. I'm going to get my keyboard out in front, right? And I'm going to also, let me just launch Chrome, where the heck it is. Chrome. Okay. And let me figure out how I want to do this. So give me a moment. You're not going to see anything on the screen for a second. I'm just going to put my face on. How warm do pen displays get would be bad if I prop. It depends on the display, Proud Platypus, how warm they get. Most of them don't get very warm. They get slightly warm toward the ports, but not hot. If you ever see a tablet that gets hot, there's a problem. But I have propped it up against, I put it on the bed, I put it on a cushion, on a couch. Never had a real problem. I had my taskbar as yellow back in the early 2000s, posting my screenshots in chat. Used to drive. I can totally understand. Okay, I'm gonna need to move a cable around, so I'll be right, just 1 second. Okay, I'm back. And what we're gonna do is a couple of things. I just need to get set up here with my OneNote and things. It always takes a little extra time to just get set up. Oh, and I have to log in. Where's my phone? Here it is. Have you seen Aaron's review on MovingPad Pro? He was old Mobile Studio Pro user and he seems happy with the new Android Pro. I saw that he posted the video. I haven't watched the video yet, but it doesn't surprise me. Honestly, I want to do a MovingPad Pro video as soon as I can. I love it. I mean, I'm just not gonna, not to sound like I'm inhaling the Walkopium, but I really, really like that tablet. So I'm curious what Aaron has to say. Okay, I need to log in into Chrome, 7 pens. This is Chrome, but I need, I'm logging into Microsoft, hang on. Let's see. Use your face, fingerprint, PIN, or security key. Well, let's try this. Sign in another way. Okay, I have to use the mobile app. This is the part of authentication. There we go. I am signed in now. Okay, and then we'll start. I have a couple of things to show you in case, and this will simplify our communication, okay? The first thing I'm going to show you is, so that we're clear, let me bring this up. Yeah, no, that's not right. I want the, no, what am I looking at here? Hang on a second, let me think about how to do this. Oh yeah, I've got the wrong screen in the wrong place. No worries. No worries, we'll get the right screen there. It's this one, okay? And in my, this is my docs site. In my docs site, I have what I call my tablet's notes template, okay? And this is basically a guide I'm going to use. And, you know, sometimes these things apply for certain tablets, like pen displays, but not pen tablets. Things to look at or talk about, right? And I wanted to put this out here because it will make it easier for you to understand how I do things, okay? And I'm gonna paste this in the chat, okay? Shoot, I'm in the wrong place here. I'm going to have to, give me a second. How do I do this? How do I do this? I'm gonna have to launch Chrome or something. Chrome. I'll have to, sorry. I'm on two computers and I forget which one I'm on. But I'm gonna paste it in chat because I want you to be aware of what it is that I am doing. Where is that darn thing? Not that. Sorry, I can't find my Chrome window. There we go. Sorry, I'm typing in the wrong place. Oh, it's so confusing. Sorry. This is the hard part when you have multiple computers. You don't know which one you're typing on. I'm typing on the wrong keyboard as well. I need to get an actual KVM switch or something. Hi, Joseph. Oh, that's right. And tablet notes templates. The reason I want you to see this in chat and have a link to it is I want you to give me feedback about the kind of things, you know, you at least would like me to look at, okay? There we go. It is finally, I pasted that in chat, so I'm happy. And then let me do one more thing while I'm on this Mac. I want to verify how I've got the desktops set up, displays, system settings, displays. So apologies, you can't see what I'm doing here. Okay, got it. I've got two things going on. I see. Okay, now I'm in good shape. Okay. And while we're back, let's put let's get back to the, yeah, we're gonna get back here. So yeah, send any feedback on these templates. Let's see, and I'll take a look at the comments now. Some good comments, actually. Cammy Luna says, I mean, the Moving Pad Pro 14 was what Wacom diehards needed and wanted for a very long time. I agree. So it's worth celebrating ingestion of Wacopium. Yes. Nick says, Aaron is using Krita texture brushes and it works fast. He also showed one interesting detail about wireless instant display. Well, it looks laggy on PC screen, but on moving it runs perfect. Okay, yeah. I was actually very pleased to see that it was working better for people. And I don't know why my face is not showing up correctly here. There we go. So after all, you can use your desktop power on moving screen with any problem. There's a slight bit of lag, but I have to test it out more. Let's see. Rain says you got to put same color tape on monitors, maybe, so like it's color coordinated. That's a good idea, Rain. That's a good idea. Rain, the tablet is good. I've actually been using it for a while. I just wanted to make sure I did a live stream about it because it's one I really recommend. And Joseph says it's not that the Moving Pad Pro is not yet sold in Brazil. Snow Leopard, did something happen to the stream? Uh-oh. Am I not streaming or something? You got me scared now. Yes, Nola, tell me if something happened to the stream for you. Is everyone else, is it working for everyone else? I feel like it is, but if it's not, let me know. Let's see, Kanto says, I'm just trying to manifest a bigger iPad Pro. I understand that feeling. Okay, so let's get back to, stream is fine, Nick, thank you. I just wasn't sure how to interpret that comment. Okay, what we're gonna do is, now that you saw that, I'm gonna take all this here, okay? And copy it. And then I'm gonna find my show notes, okay? And we will talk about these topics very specifically. Let's see, 2025. Oops, typing on the wrong keyboard. Thank you, Camilina, for verifying. And Konto, thank you both. 2025, 11, what is it, the 7th? 8th. And let's, oops, I want to control. There we go. Oh, I hate that it did that. Let's get rid of that. Oh, I hate that it did that. You see what happened? It pasted the stupid, like black and white. Whatever. I will try to see if I can fix this real quick. Oops. Let's see if I can. Can I fix it with text only? That's fine. We can understand what's going on, okay? So yeah, let's just collect all the information and start talking. We'll take a look at the XP Pen page for it, okay? Pro 22 Gen 2. Let's just get our details correct, right? Let's get to the page. So the things we want to cover here are just the basic specs, and then we'll start doing the testing. I just want to make sure everyone is clear on the specs. That's a good question, Rain. How do I think the Cintiq holds up as the MVP Pro 14? Holds up to the MVP Pro 14 because they're fairly similar in size and price. That's challenging. Like, it's hard to compare them back, you know, to each other because they serve different purposes. Like, I think the way I draw and what I draw, I need a desktop computer to draw, okay? And so if I had to pick, I would honestly pick the Cintiq 16. And that's no insult to the Moving Pad Pro. It's just that I need the power of my desktop, and I need the apps on the desktop, right? And I need all my peripherals on my desktop. And since the Moving Pad Pro has a different role for me, it's when I need to draw on the go, right? Now I will say this, if the Moving Pad Pro had DisplayPort in and worked like a Cintiq, I would just get that, absolutely. Right, and right now it doesn't. And even though you can get your display working on it, you know, the driver doesn't, you can't configure the curves, you can't configure the buttons, it's imperfect as a pen display, but it's great as a standalone. Okay, let's go over this thing. Obviously it is the Artist Pro Gen 2. We're gonna take a look at the specs so everyone understands what's going on with it. Okay, just so we're on the same page. So yeah, the stand is included, as I mentioned, 2560 by 1440. You see the color gamut, right? So this is one thing I think we see more and more in these Pro displays from Huion and XP Pen. They do cover, oh, let me close this. Where is that? Yeah, sorry. They do cover kind of like these different color gamut ranges. So that's good, okay? This is an 8-bit panel, which means 16 million colors. So, you know, this is one thing. You see some of the other Pro models like from Wacom, they're 10-bit color. No complaint. I never care about the 10-bit color, but I know for some of you it's important. full lamination. Remember what lamination means? It means that the glass is, there's like optically clear adhesive that binds it to the display panel. So there's no gap, no air gap. It does not mean it's covered with a film, okay? And this tablet is not covered with a protective matte film, okay? Brightness, pretty typical, 250 nits. It comes with one pen, the X3 Pro Stylus, which is, I have many of them, but here's one of them. It feels, the shape of it is exactly like the Pro Pen 2. Accuracy in the center, this is fine. I don't know, there are different ranges for this thing, but in practice this is fine. Everything else here is fine. There's nothing crazy here. It does have a VESA mount. That's how the stand attaches. And yeah, it's fine. Nothing crazy about the specs. And now we've gone through the specs, let's start just looking at this. Again, it's a 22-inch tablet. And let me put the overhead so we're actually looking at it, okay? So we've gone through all those kind of things. Actually, I'm going to go back to that silly, this thing, because I can't read it when it's all like that. Let's see, there's some good comments here. I'm on the same boat where I need a desktop software power when I'm home and a decent standalone one. Yeah, I can't pick between. I gotta have both, really. Koyo has a great comment. Pen display mode on Moving Pad Pro 14 might need at least a year to be fully usable. I agree with that. I wouldn't suggest, maintaining a fantasy that pen display mode is just going to work like a Cintiq. I hope it does. I hope Wacom's going to do that, but it is not that way now. Okay? So I don't want to give people false hope about the way the Moving Pad Pro works. Okay. So let me start looking through these things. I'll take notes here. So first of all, brightness is fine. What is the brightness? I don't know. Right now, I'm going to have to install the XP Pen driver, actually. Where is the driver, actually, for this thing? And I may have to uninstall or have Wacom Center installed. I'm going to do the thing I never recommend. I'm going to leave Wacom Center installed and create chaos in this machine by installing another driver on top of it. Okay, so it's recently released. It's September 26, 2025. It's the 4.0 driver. Let's get, oh, that's the Mac driver. My mistake. And you can see that. Okay. I want the, is that the right one? Yeah, okay. The driver is where? I don't want the Mac one. I want the Windows one. I'm actually confused here. I was just confused because I saw the Mac one listed first. I'm like, where's my Windows driver? The Windows driver is newer, and I'll pick this one. Yeah, so this is the one from October. Let us extract all. You know what? It's gonna cause problems. In fact, let me uninstall the Wacom driver, okay? Because I just fear that I'm gonna have to reboot in the middle of the stream. And I don't want to have to do that. Because I'm streaming from my Mac, I can restart this machine and have no fear. So let's uninstall. Rain says, one thing I've always noticed about Huion XP Pen displays is that they're less bright than Wacom pen displays of the same size. Yeah, I think you're right, Rain. And it's never bothered me. I don't need them to be super bright. Artist, do you have troubles drawing perfect ellipses on screen? Screen sounds pretty sure I can do great on 2S Pro, but doing ellipse test. So what happens, Nick? Is it like you just feel like there's less control? When you're doing slow? Like it's hard, maybe sure I understand. When you're using a pen display, it's harder to have slow controlled strokes, and it shows up when you're drawing a circle. Interesting, I would not have guessed. Yeah, for some people they don't. Some people say they've gotten the drivers to work well together, but like I have like they've always worked for a while for me, and then there's been, sorry, you're seeing my computer reboot, but then after a while it's problem city, right? So I'm just rebooting now. Okay, and then let me just do one more check-in on this thing. I'm gonna make sure I sign into the Microsoft Store with my 7pens account. pens@outlook.com. Next, sorry, I gotta just do this so that I won't have confusion when I'm using this a little bit later. Let's see, I used to hate signing in with my phone, but now I'm like, it's totally cool to not type a password. Okay, now let's get back to installing the XP Pen driver. So I know this stream is taking some while to actually get to testing the tablet, but this is a new machine I set up, so it takes a little extra time to sort of get everything going. Okay, let's install it. Let's see. Nick, just to double check, with the Intuos Pro is the one where you're having the problems, or the Intuos. Do you have force proportions set on? Is that enabled? Because that's the primary reason people struggle with a weird feeling when they're drawing on the Intuos on pen tablets. So I just want to make sure you're good there. Okay, I'm gonna have to restart. So let's just restart now. So while that's happening, let me just talk a little bit about the tablet, the physicality of the tablet, the physical features of the tablet. So first of all, XP Pen it goes its own way in the physical design of these tablets, and what I mean by that is, take a look at the edges, right? It's beveled here. It's not particularly thin, but that's not what we're expecting. But the other thing you'll notice is XP Pen is still a believer in wide bezels. Now the 24 inches have much wider bezels than this, but this is significant. Of course, this sticks out a little bit more, the bevel. So it's probably a little bit wider and sturdier than you'd expect, right? And the bottom part is even wider because it has this part that sticks down, right? So just be aware of that if you're thinking about this tablet. It's probably just a little bit wider than you expect because of the bezels. Okay, let me log in. Oh, I don't want to log in that way. Hang on. Oh, I gotta figure out how to log in now. Okay, hang on. This is like, I didn't anticipate I have to type in my password this time. How do I do this? Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. Now I gotta log into this thing. Okay, Nick does have force proportions on. It doesn't affect lump. Interesting. Okay, interesting. Let's see. Battery. I have an XP Pen Pro Pro 16 Gen 2, and after 10 months of use, it has a yellowish frame around edges. Good. You gotta. Can you join the Discord and share a photo? I will share with you the following thing, which is. Let's get to Chrome for a second. I do want to show you this because it's a good thing you're asking. The only time I've seen yellow tint is when this is happening. It's tint edges. So if anyone knows better on this topic, let me know. So what I have seen with some tablets is they develop either a purple or magenta or yellowish tint on the edges, okay? And this is exaggerating how intense it is, but you'll see it as yellow or purple like this. Now, to clearly understand this is what it would be normally. It actually looks more like this. It's almost invisible a lot of times. You have to sort of like, it's more noticeable if you have a pure white background, right? And it's not like this. It's not a tint over the entire screen, okay? It's kind of just at the edges. Here's an example, actually. I found this. This is a Reddit post. You see it? So this is, the color it should be right here above these words in English. And you can see the purplish tint on the left and at the bottom, okay? And what I have understood here is that this is due, if you read the causes here, this is apparently an issue with laminated displays because it seems like the optically clear adhesive maybe is having pressure on it or not enough, and it causes this weird distortion, which causes this color. Now, if there's a better explanation that's more accurate, I'd love to hear it. But as far as I can tell, you can never fix it. And one way to know that it's this problem is to press down on the edge and see if it changes the color a little bit. Let's see, Rain says, could not adjust to a pen tablet. Yeah. Okay, so we are in here. Let us now start testing. Do I have Krita installed? Sorry, you're all. I do have Krita. That's good. And while we're getting Krita up, do I have XP Pen? By the way, I have to thank XP Pen. They finally renamed their driver from Pen Tablet to XP Pen Tablet. Thank you. That makes it much easier to find. I gave them that feedback, by the way. I'm going to pretend I was the reason. Okay, so here it is. Finally, we're seeing the driver. Artist Pro Gen 2. And it has this new driver. I don't know if this is true when I got this. Has a floating menu system, which maybe we'll explore. Work area, which is correctly mapped. To the tablet is where it shows. There's 3 screens here. And then display settings, anything interesting. Those are the 4 color spaces. Or we see 3, sorry. sRGB, Adobe, and DP. P3. And then user, okay? Now for reference, I have it, I forgot what it's default set at. I'm gonna set it at 50 just to I'll give you my feedback. So I would probably use this at 50, but it's just slightly dim to my eyes. I have it set up at 100. It's been at 100 now for 40 minutes. So the first, is it hot? No. It is slightly warm toward the top, like where the bezel is. And it's not warm, it's cool to the touch everywhere. It's probably very slightly warm. Oh, sorry, you can't see my hands. My mistake. It is cool here. It's cool everywhere here, okay? It gets just a little warm right where my fingertips are, okay? It gets a little warmer toward the top. At no point is it hot, okay? So I just want to make sure you know what's going on here. Koya, I think I'm getting scolded. Koya, what should I be using? Please let me know. I think I'll be honest. I'm surprised it's at Adobe RGB. I actually just leave everything at sRGB, so I'm going to change that. So if you're looking at the camera, you probably noticed that it got a little less saturated, right? Like it's more saturated, just a touch less. It's clearer to my eyes, not much. I prefer to work in sRGB. I don't know. P3, I don't even know why people would use P3. I'm not a color person. But this is fine. The settings were fine, right? I would say. What I have it set to. So I'm going to leave it as Adobe RGB. Pen settings. So let's go and use the pen. This is the X3 Pro pen. I'm going to just show you some things. Which is, first of all, actually, you know what? I'm going to do something. That sounds like the vaguest thing ever. I'm going to actually take some photos of this tablet, okay, on stream, because I'm going to use them when I write up my notes, okay? So just give me a moment. By the way, I've had this iPhone for a month, and I still have not... Oh, God darn it. Hang on. The AirPod thing switched when I didn't mean it to switch. I hate that it does that. Settings... AirPods. That is such a... You know what? I'm going to turn off Bluetooth. That'll fix its wagon. Let's see. Do not connect. Otherwise, this thing's going to just go crazy. Okay. Now let's take my camera and take a picture. So I'll be doing that. I'm going to start doing that in my streams. Actually take photos of what I see instead of having to redo it every time. Like later in a different stream or something. Okay. That was one. Now, let me just give you my feedback on the pen itself. It feels exactly like a Pro Pen 3, okay? What do I notice about the accuracy? This is called static tracking accuracy, okay? Where I put this, so I'm gonna keep it about ½ an inch away from the corners for a second and the edges. You know what? I think I can actually disable the tip of this thing and the driver, which will help me in my test here. Let's see if I can do that. XP Pen actually has, if I'm mistaken, I actually can do some fancy things with the pen. Oh no, I'm wrong. I don't have the, I thought I could disable the tip. Sometimes that's useful in my testing. Okay. As I look, I know it's hard to see with your angles, but it is slightly miscalibrated. I would say as I move along, it's just very slightly. I don't think it would affect my drawing at all. But I would probably calibrate this. I think some people wouldn't even notice it. There's a slight drift to the right as I get to the left edge. Like all tablets, when you get to the very edges, it's a little shaky there. But nothing to be panicked about. It's normal for a pen display to have that. So static tracking accuracy was good. Probably does need to calibrate it, but again, it depends on the unit you get. I can't say they're all going to require any kind of calibration. Okay. What about parallax? Let me write this down as well. So give me a second. Let me get Chrome, and I'll take notes on these things. Where is MS Office? let's see, Nick is saying something about color. On camera, we can't see anything related to color calibration. It is always a good idea to use wider Adobe space and use CMS in Pro Apps to preview sRGB when you need it. Oh, Koyo, good idea. Yeah, I should check the active area just to double check. That is actually an excellent idea. Let's do that. I'll do it, sorry. Where is the active area? Set full screen. Now let's try. Thank you, Koyo. I wonder if that was the reason. Oops. Let's pick the right pen. I'm trying to look at it from the same angles as well. That might have improved it a little bit, but I don't really notice the difference. But that was the right suggestion. Okay, actually, Rain brings up a good topic, which I should have mentioned earlier, which is the price. So it is Artist Pro 22 Gen 2. So XP Pen is, I believe, they have a lot of tablets on sale right now. So if we take a look at the Artist 22 Pro Gen 2, the one I'm testing, let's take a look at the price. It's $503, normally $700. This is one of the best deals you can get on a tablet right now, honestly. Okay, one of the best. So I do recommend this tablet. Okay, and let me get my notes so that I can start. Sorry. Someone's asking, can you try the Artist 12 Gen 3 stylus with the screen? Yeah, absolutely. Give me a second, I'll do exactly that. 1 second. Okay, I am back, and let's see what happens. This is the X4 pen that comes with the Artist 12 Gen 3. It doesn't do anything. It's just totally non-responsive. What about the driver? Does the driver detect anything? Let's go into the diagnostics just to see if there's any recognition. Right? Nothing. Now let me use the, oh, so you can't see what I see, but let me show it to you. That's the driver. I'm pressing down with the pen, nothing's happening. Whereas when I use the you can see I'm just hovering the X3 Pro pen, and you can see the XY position is changing. If I press down, even the pressure is changing, right? But the X4 pen does not register on this tablet. Yeah, the 22 is my favorite size. Now I do wish, I mean, I know people like bezels or don't, but I do wish this had kind of smaller bezels a little bit. I also just wish it was a little thinner. Nick, you have an instant comment. I just want to drill into this, where you say, maybe it is some manufacturing problem with Cintiq Pro 13, like a lamination dissipating. Is that a thing that happens? That the lamination, like I guess the optically clear adhesive dissipates a bit or shrinks? Because that would explain that phenomena we see, right? Let's see. Nick Tyler says, missed that new X4 pen. Did it feel any better? I didn't measure it. I'm gonna measure it. It did feel good. I think it felt, but you know, you have to test multiple pens to understand its pressure. The X3 Pro series had decent IAF or good IAF with a lot of variability in max pressure. It was either good or great, so it was never bad. The X4 pen that I received, XP Pen states 2 gram force. I'll verify that. and the max pressure felt high to me subjectively, right? But I need to get 2 more. Now here's the problem. They don't sell the X4 pen. Like, I searched, and if I go to the XP Pen site, I can't see the pen. Like if I go to the store and I search for accessories, you just can't buy it. So that's kind of a problem. Okay, I need to take a quick bio break, so I'll be right back, okay? Okay, I am back, and I'm gonna do one more change. That'll simplify me sharing, doing things. Duplicate on 1 and 3. All right, keep changes, and let's use the full resolution. Keep changes. Great. This will make it easier for me to show you the overhead as well as the normal view. Okay, so we're here, and let me get my notes as well. And so what I want to write down is, what is this? This is the XP Pen deck. So Artist Pro, MD2 Gen 2. Okay, so instead of listing the specs, we'll talk about the drawing performance, right? So I would say, oh God, this drives me crazy. Hang on. I hate this. That it's doing it with this black background, which is, it was okay, not great. Needs, my unit needed some, needs a little calibration. So this is to do, actually try this. You know, perform calibration. We'll try that later. But I would probably just draw this, honestly, without even checking the calibration. Corner and edge accuracy, I would say I would say slightly less accurate at the very less accurate than is typical at the corners and edges. I think I'd have to double check on this one. Okay. Tilt compensation. Okay, let's do a little tilt compensation. This is going to require the camera to get close. So let's get the camera view here. The open tablet driver helped you a lot, mostly on the pressure curve. Okay, that's good. That's good to know. Is the X4 pen any better in terms of tilt support? I haven't noticed any difference. Let's see. But yeah, I need to order 3 more of those, or 2 more of those, so I can have 3 and test. Okay. Let's see. So, Rain, you have a great question. I should clarify. The XP Pen Pro, because that's the pen. Those are the ones that are more inconsistent. They're very consistent with their IAF. They're like a 3 gram force or slightly under. It's their maximum pressure where the inconsistency is. So unit to unit, it's either good or great. So it's never bad. They're good or great. Okay, and just so everyone's on the same page, let me show you what I mean. Okay. Let's go here and take a look. Okay, so let's talk about the X3 Pro pen. Here are my notes. Okay, so here are my pen. Take a look at this, right? This is what I see. Okay, and you know what? We can dive into detail later, but the key thing is they go between okay and almost excellent. So there's no pattern to this. Okay, there's no obvious pattern to this, the way this looks. Why do they all distribute like this? I don't know. Half of them are in the good to almost excellent range, and then half of them are the okay, in the middle of the okay range. I mean, they're getting good. None of them are bad. None of them are bad, right? But I like to see a Pro pen always at least at 350. Okay. Half of these pens are. IAF, they're very close. And if you want to know, let's just do a Git. Do I have GitHub Desktop on here? It's going to take some time, but I can show you that maybe later in the stream, okay? Given that XP Pen dumped another X3 Pro Pen device on us right before the X4 for budget models, I think the X4 was just made for the consumer models to be more on par with the X3 Pros in function. I think you got a good point there, Cami Luna, honestly. I think the thing that mystifies me is the fact that a pen is called X4 implies we're going to see a pen called X4 Pro, which implies we're going to see tablets, more Pro tablets. Let's see. Except for Wacom, it's been a quiet year for tablets. Okay, so let me go back to my notes here. Tilt compensation is what we wanted to test. Okay, so let's take a look at tilt compensation. Let's close this, and close this, and close this. And I don't know why this UI is here. Let me try just clicking on it. Cancel. Yeah, get out of here. Okay. So, no, don't set it up. Okay. This is going to be weird for you to see because I have to tilt this thing in funny, strange ways. And, I have to tilt it like this. So, and bring it close to me. And let me show you what's going on here. So, I'm just tilting the pen, and you can't see it super clearly. But I'm looking here, and I'm tilting to the right. To the right, actually, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. It stayed very underneath the pen tip. What about here? The pointer's... The pointer's staying very where it is. Again, I can't promise every unit is doing this, but yeah, I would say, let me look at the up-down tilting. Okay, I actually say it's excellent. I would say it's excellent. Tilt compensation here was actually excellent, right? It doesn't mean there was no movement, no deflection. But tilt compensation worked extremely well, right? Oops. Sorry for the bad look on the colors here. Let me make this a bit bigger. I apologize again for these ridiculous colors. Tilt compensation was actually excellent. I was super happy with that. That's something XP Pen struggles with. So the rating here was excellent, right? Let's do another test for something called tilt noise, okay? Or tilts, how can I say it? If there's weird artifacts with tilt. And I'm going to show you the test, which is, of course, under Tools, Tablet Tester. And what we do is we have a, hang on. We set the size to 50. We don't change the size. We change the color to tilt azimuth. Azimuth means compass direction, and let's see what happens. Oops, I keep picking up a Wacom pen. So I'm tilting, and the question is, is there anything unusual about it? And actually there isn't, right? You can see some, like right here, you can probably see some transitions. That's not the fault of the pen, that's the way I moved it, right? Because when you hold your pen up upright, here, let me show you the picture. When the pen, oh, not this, sorry. Oh. It's not switching. We'll get there. Why is it not switching? Oh, there we go. So when you're holding the pen upright, like perfectly perpendicular, slight changes will make the colors sort of jump. And that's normal, right? Because the azimuth is hard to figure out when it's 90 degrees. What you want to do is sweep the pen like this at a good angle, and it's smooth. So this is good. There's no weird tilt issues. Okay. So I would just say in general, tilt just worked. Worked normally, right? Nothing Nothing unusual. Let's take a look at diagonal wobble. Okay. So diagonal wobble is a fun one. I'm going to, I think I have a template here for diagonal wobble. If I don't, I'll create it. Wobble, this is my testing image. So let's just save this image locally under downloads. Okay, so this is diag wobble for XP Pen Artist Pro 22 Gen 2. So I'll save it, I'll open up in Krita, and I think I now know how to get some brushes, testing brushes into Krita. Okay, so I think, who was it? Mir showed me how to do this. This will save me some time in creating these brushes. Let's see, I'm gonna load. Let me open up Krita and then I'll do it. I think it's under Manage Resource Libraries, and I go Import, and then I get to that bundle. Hopefully this works. Okay, I should see, and they should see I should see them. And yeah, let's go ahead and just create this. Okay, and do I have these brushes? Let's take a look. I do. I know these have really terrible icons, so you gotta bear with me. But that's the brush. I'm not drawing with the pen, that's why it looks all crazy. Okay, where's my ruler? Here it is. Okay. So what we do is, we're gonna close this. And then we're going to go to downloads and do this wobble test. Okay. Okay. And I want to match it up. I'll show you the camera so it's more obvious. I try to zoom in so that from these two dots is 10 centimeters. So I try to zoom in so that this covers a good portion of these red lines here, okay? So the zoom here is 120%. Now let's try. And for this, oops, I'm hearing beeps. I think that's Discord. Let me take a quick check there to make sure there's nothing insane happening. Actually, you know what? I'll do that for this device. Because I feel like somebody may be wanting my attention. Discord. Okay. Okay, I see. Someone's just they're chatting with me. It's Fade. Let me just tell them, hey, join the stream. Yeah, let me do that. Thank God. Live streaming now. Live streaming. Join the stream. There we go. What a connected world we live in. Okay, we're gonna test the diagonal wobble, Snow Leopard. In my recollection, this tablet did not have, or I can't say that I remember it having wobble, but we will discover that in a second. Okay, so I'm zooming into 133%. I'm gonna write that down actually. Zoom is 133 and third percent. Okay, zoom colon. Why can't I draw? What happened? Hello. Suddenly the pen dropped. It's non-functional. So what's going on? I don't know. I think there's a Krita issue. What the hell? Something I did stopped it from drawing. Maybe I think I switched pens or something. What the heck happened? Okay, whatever. We'll figure this out. I'm gonna have to move this keyboard. Let's see. Why does this pen look weird? Something is weird. Every time I use this pen, it's like deactivating or something. And it looks... Okay, I want you to see this. And this is a thing that happens, so don't worry. We will solve everything. Where's my... Okay, watch this. Take a look at what this pen looked like. The stroke is messed up. It's bumpy, and it shouldn't be bumpy. Now, that could be because I've just messed up the brush. So instead of using that brush, I'm going to rebuild the brush. I'm going to use the Ink 3 fine liner and set it to be... Don't change the size based on pressure. And then I'm going to take that. Oops. Oh, Krita, come on. How do you resize this darn thing? There we go. Sometimes I hate that brush editor, Krita. It gets too large. Okay, let's see if that made things better. Yeah, the brush I was using was a bit weird. Oh, you see this? What happened? Krita's getting real confused about something. Okay, I think this is a Krita issue, not the tablet. So let's just go ahead. Could be the driver. So let's go ahead and just... I'm going to save this. And I'm going to just close Krita and restart. We'll figure out what happened there. That was unusual. And let me go ahead and just make sure this is always in my taskbar. There we go. Yeah, that was weird, wasn't it? Ranger Fade. If you're seeing it tinted, that's not what I see. It actually does not look red or anything. Thank you for joining, by the way, Ranger Fade. So that was a little bit of a weirdness. Could be Windows Ink, you know, my favorite thing to blame, Windows Ink. Let's zoom in a little bit. And okay, whatever it was seems to have gone away. You can see the strokes are very different now, right? They're not fucked up. Sorry, I used bad language. I think that was just Krita getting confused. Maybe it was the brush bundle that I loaded up here. Let's get back to 133% and let's start our testing. It's a good old-fashioned diagonal wobble testing. Okay. Now remember, we do 3 strokes at 3 different speeds, okay? I need to get a robot to do this for me. This is crazy. Let me do one more thing. Let me verify. Okay, I got to turn off smoothing. So that was not a valid test. So let me Control Z that. That was not a valid test, okay? Smoothing has to be off. Now, there was a bump in that line because I moved the rulers. I got to do that yet again. That's one thing that's actually hard about this test is to... These glass screens are slightly slippery, and sometimes that can affect. Okay, that actually looked good. If not perfect, it looked minuscule. I moved that time. Again, that's the thing I hate about this. It's hard to... I need to add some kind of padding or something so that this thing doesn't slip. That looked good again. I moved. Sorry, I know you guys are like, hey, 7 can't even draw a straight line. Okay, now we do 3 slightly faster ones. Which I think many people find this stroke slow. Right? And as I always say in my streams, this test is designed to find problems. It is designed to create a stressful situation for the tablet. So even if I detect wobble, doesn't mean you will actually see it. Okay, so you got to keep that in mind. Okay, now let's zoom in and take a look. And before I do that, let's get rid of this garbage here. Where is that, this thing? Let's, I think delete will do that. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, I'll investigate how to cover that up later in clip. So let's take a look. What do we notice here? These lines are excellent. I don't see any diagonal wobble. I think this is as good as I've seen with my Cintiq Pro 22. So I would rate this excellent. I would rate this excellent, right? Let me write that down. I need to add something like something fabric or felt or something so that it just doesn't move, because that ruins so many of my tests. Yeah, this is excellent. I wouldn't be able to tell this apart from a Cintiq Pro. Okay, so they did a great job. They did a great job. Now again, I cannot promise you that every Artist Pro 22 Gen 2 is as good as this one, this unit, but this is my test, right? And that's what I try to do in my channel is test things. So let's write this down, that the tilt compensation was actually excellent. That's right, a diagonal wobble was excellent. And I always will salute companies that get this right. Thank you, XP Pen. Excellent. Almost, basically, you know, it's a microscopic wobble. You know, meaning no wobble. It's fantastic. I make a big deal out of testing these things because you know, if someone's gonna make a tablet and I buy it, I'm gonna put it through these tests. Okay, next thing is artifacts at low pressure, okay? Artifacts at low pressure is a very specific test. Let me show you how it's done. So I'm gonna create a new doc. Let me save this. Just save it, man, save it. Final save. Yeah, lossless. Okay. Then we're gonna create a new doc, and I'm gonna change the size of this. I'll just make it like 3,000 by 3,000, or 4,000 by 3,000. Why do I pick that number? Because I can't remember 4K resolution, so I do simple math, and I say it's 4 by 3. Okay, that's how I do this. I'll zoom in just a little bit, and what we do is we get the. I'm going to recreate the pen because you pick this one, the Ink 3G pen. Nick has some questions. Let's see. Can you do ellipse tracing test? Use assistant tool, ellipse helper, and just trace it by hand without snapping. Can you get perfect line quality? Okay, let me conclude this test, Nick, and then I'll do that, okay? Let's see. I turn off strength. Size, you got to make sure on this test you got to set it like this. Pressures, the curve is linear, okay? The curve's got to be linear here. And of course, the stupid dialogue. Someone in Creative's got to fix this. Like, you should not open a dialogue on Windows where it doesn't fit on screen. Like, it's got to fit. I get it. There's different zooming and resolutions, but like, you know, do the math and figure it out. Because that is irritating as hell. And it doesn't get smaller. You cannot shrink this. So I'm going to move it to another. Actually, I'm going to leave it on screen. Anything else? Oh, I want the size to be 300. Okay. Again, this is a rough test. This is designed to create problems. Right? This is designed to create problems. What we do is, let me show you the full stroke, which is like this. Okay. So I'm doing really thin. This is how thick it gets at max pressure. Okay. You got to keep that in mind. Then I delete this, okay? Now what you do is you draw it as light pressure as you can, and you see what happens, okay? This is like what you're looking for is weird bouncing, right? Like, what will happen with the Cintiq Pro and the Wacom Pro Pen 2 is this. I'm simulating it. This is not what actually happens with this tablet. Because the pen is is kind of overreactive at low pressure, okay? I don't want to use the word too sensitive. It's overreacting, and that's normal, but some pens and tablet drivers and firmware, they do a better job. So this is good. At really light pressure, you don't see some of this craziness, right? It just looks kind of, you can do a really thin stroke. Remember, it's supposed to be this thick. Therefore, if I'm doing this, you know I'm pressing very lightly. Now, because it did so well, let's make this test harder. Let's move this up to 600 pixels, meaning it's this big. And again, the reason we do this is it magnifies what happens. What does happen? Does a fantastic job. The little bumps that you see are me, not it, right? Look how thin this line is really, right? Let's see. So they did a good job. Let's write this down in the OneNote. So I think, no, it's, I'd say this is extremely well managed. Extremely well managed, right? Let me actually create the sample fully. I did realize I did not do that. So you just draw, actually, my normal test is 300, so I'll change it back to that. Okay, 300. And then let's erase this, and let me just do the test. Really thin strokes. And of course, I'm going to try it at perfectly vertical. Pens are more sensitive when they're vertical, by the way, to the tablet. So this is good. This is good. I have no problems here. So let me save this as this is the low pressure artifacts, right? So that was, let's put that in downloads. Okay, and let me just show you what this looks like with Wacom, like a good tablet, okay? So, because it can make you believe that you might be criticizing the stroke. So, artifacts, I think it's called artifacts at low pressure. At low pressure. Oops, sorry. Let's type it in. Yeah, I gotta change the title of this. So this is with this was, take a look at this. This is an Intuos Pro 2017 with the Pro Pen 2. Do you see what I'm getting at here? Right? You see how it can look? So this isn't a criticism of Wacom. It's just you learn how to deal with this thing. You do that with pressure curves and pressure smoothing. I prefer when tablets and drivers take care of this because you don't have to think about it, and you know. Also, this is a test that's extreme. Like most people would never even notice this, but certain people do, right? Let's see. You have UI scaling. Why is your brush panel setting so big? It fits perfectly. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I have the UI scaling up to 150% or something. Beginning of light strokes looks bad. Maybe try curving a bit. Yeah, well, you think it looks bad? I think it looked good. I mean, remember, part of it's me, right? But let's do what Nick is saying, just so everyone sees it. Because then the strokes will be much easier to control, even with how good they're managing. So we'll go to size, and we know what you do. You just do this, okay? I'm gonna move it maybe a little bit more like that, okay? Just a little bit, not too much, and let's see the effect. And of course, I gotta move, I hate that. I'm gonna move this out of the way for a second. Okay, now we'll try it. Watch this. This is with the curve. It's even easier to control. Remember, you're not worrying about if it's going up or down. You're just thinking about the width. So it is very well controlled. See how thin it is? Right? If we set the curve up even more, like to be a little more extreme even. Let me show you what happens. Super easy to control at light pressure, right? You have to do this with all tablets. Hit F5 to, okay, let's try that. F5 will close it. Whoa. I was not pressing on the right place. Let me bring this back up here. You're saying F5 will close this? It's bringing up something in Windows, Nick. So so I have to hit function F5 on my keyboard. Right? Yeah, by the way, Nick's got a good point, I would say, in his comment, where he says, much better now. I said it the same with Wacom Pro Pen 2. I generally advise you to make a curve like that. That is, in fact, where's that darn thing? Sorry, let's get back here. I think everyone should, when they get a tablet, set a curve like this, right? Or just see what happens, because I think it'll save most people some frustration. Got it. It'll open and close it. Let's try that again. Function F5. Fantastic. Thank you, Nick. That's a good tip. That's a really good tip. Because in my testing, I do that over and over and over. Okay. Next is... so let's write this down. Yeah, it did a fantastic job. Pressure banding. Pressure banding. Pressure banding is this. Let's create another image. And then you create, you want to use that same fine liner actually. Oh, fine liner. That's not it. That's the fine liner. But you want it to be pressure sensitive, so you don't change the size. You change the opacity, okay? And you make the opacity map to pressure, and you make sure it's linear, okay? Function F5 to close that. And you just draw some lines at low pressure, okay? Oops, you need this to be big. So let's just pick a 300 pixel brush, okay? And this is going to see if there's any weird problems with, hello? Yeah, okay. You're not looking for perfect lines, you're looking for patterns. I'm not seeing any weird patterns here. Has to be low pressure. That's where the lines are faint. Now, visually it's hard to see the pattern, but don't worry, we'll get there. And it's benefiting from that that curve, or sorry, not the curve. It's benefiting from that general ability to not have that weird jumping up and down that most pens have. So how do we figure this out? Let me put you on this screen so it's more obvious. Remember, it's not supposed to be totally smooth because it's impossible. You're looking for patterns. What kind of pattern are we looking for? We're looking for, let's take a look at it, pressure banding. And that's this kind of, I think, oops, I didn't type it in correctly. Pressure banding is this. As we open it up, we can see, this is what it looks like when you're mapping pressure banding is happening to the width. That's why you use opaque. You can see the patterns, right? But if you're using transparency, it's pretty obvious. It's hard because it's so light, so we ramp up the zoom. Do you see the patterns there? We don't care that it's messy. We care that we're seeing repeated patterns where the pressure is getting attenuated, or sharp transitions. Like, this is weird, this is bad. So I don't notice that. Now, of course, let's add a layer. Well, Krita has adjustment layers, right? It does have, tell me if it doesn't. Oops, is this an adjustment layer? I guess it's a filter layer. I hope that's the right one. Okay. And I want, I guess I want this. Yeah, that's it. There we go. I want to increase contrast. Why am I not getting the effect I want? That's good enough. Do you see any patterns there? I don't. Right? So this is good. There's no pressure banding. Okay, so let's save that. Pressure banding. That was a good test. They did a great job here. Let's see some comments. I'm happy with these results. I'm actually surprised by the performance with this price. Exactly. This is a good tablet. I like for $500 on sale. Like it's an excellent value. The only thing this tablet could be better at, besides maybe having the, being a little more accurate out of the box and being, is this, what do you call it? It could have touch. Okay. Let's see. Pro Pen level tech for Velvet Animal. Yeah, it's a decent screen. Now, some people like 4K, but I think 22 inches at this resolution works fantastic, right? I'm probably going to buy this Artist Pro 22 Gen 2 because price for performance is good. Not excellent like Wacom Pro Pen 2, but yeah, it's very good. Amazing value. But only because, let's see. But only because of crazy pricing now in Cintiq Pros with Pro Pen 3. I'm not paying, yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. And they still haven't given us an Art Pen. I don't even use Art Pen. I think more people, even if you don't like touch, I think you start expecting devices to have it. Konta, we're going to check that in just a little bit. The anti-glare sparkle. And you know what I'm going to do is, I have an idea here. Hang on. I have a cool idea. But I'm going to need something to try with this idea. Hang on. This should be okay, hang on. I'm getting some equipment prepared. Let's go back to our testing document. I'm liking my new setup here. Pen pressure range, I've talked about it. Let me show you a little bit more, okay? So you have to bear with me. I need to install something. I have to install GitHub Desktop. And while I install that, it'll just take a minute. I need to clone some repos. So Cami says, I need touch, but unfortunately also 22 inches is too big for the, yeah. This does occupy real space on your desk. You've got to like make your desk work with this one. So for a lot of people, Cami, use like a 16 inch or a 13 inch tablet. I can't remember. Let's see, I'm downloading GitHub Desktop. I'm not showing this to you because it's so boring. How's everyone's Saturday, by the way? I hope everyone's having a great day. I'm very relaxed. I went out with friends last night. We had a lot of wine. Let's see, sign in. Okay, I gotta sign in with Chrome. Always sign in. Okay, we're almost there. Continue. Open GitHub Desktop. Finish. Get started. Okay. I need the, let's see, pressure response viewer. So let me clone that. Viewer. Clone. And I need my data. Let me do another. Sorry, I know you're wondering what the heck I'm doing, but so I'll go ahead and just show you. I want to clone another repository. As always, my data is online for everyone to see. I don't hide anything. Pressure data. There we go. Snow Leopard having a good day. That's awesome to hear. I used to have Artist 16 Pro Gen 2. I liked it, but gave it to a friend of mine to broke down. That's so nice of you, Cami Luna. That's a very sweet thing. And now saving up for a Canvas Pro 19. I'm also well today doing some food prep. Okay. I was having a conversation with someone this morning about food prep, actually, Cami Luna. Right? I'm going to summarize. I may be doing the statement on justice, but the comment my friend said was something to the effect of food prep is basically an indictment against the fact that we don't have enough time to do things. And I thought, okay, I can see the logic in that. But I don't do it very often, but sometimes I do food prep, not to save time per se, but because to save mess. Because it's like, I don't want to see the kitchen get dirty multiple times. So it's easy just to make something that I'm going to eat for a couple of days. Oh, Snow Leopard, great question. Short answer, yeah, don't. That's the answer I have for you. That tablet is just not, it's old. The pen is not great. It has some weird connection issues. It works. I have one. I used it. But I think a better choice than the Huion Canvas 22 Plus is the XP Pen Artist 22 Plus. They have the same name, right? 22 Plus. Much better choice. The connection options are better. The pen is better. And yeah, I mean, there's just very basic devices. And actually, now that you mention it, how much is it? Let me show you. Let's take a look at it. XP Pen Artist 22 Plus is, now it's only HD with like the Huion 22 Plus. Well, this really should be lower, right? But it's $400. But I recommend it. The thing is, people are seeing the Huion, I think, for a bit less. Huion Canvas 22 Plus, which is $450. This is an out-of-date tablet. I would not. I mean, like, if you get it, it's fine. You can. I would recommend getting the PW550 pen. But let me give you an example of what the connection issue is. It's not like it doesn't work, but let's suppose you want to send a video signal over USB-C. You have to use. It only gets power through its USB. Sorry, it's 3-in-1 cable. So you have to always use a 3-in-1 cable, even if all you're doing with it is getting power. So that's very. It's kind of lame. That being said, it's worked fine for me. I have no complaints about it. I just think the XP Pen Artist 22 Plus is a better deal. Okay, and as you can see, it's actually it's a little cheaper, right? The XP Pen one was what, for $400 versus for like $410 versus $490. I don't think it's a competition. Let's see. I just finished making a thing called sofrito, which is pureed cilantro, red pepper. Okay, I know that. Yeah. I marinate meats and season rice with it. Now I have 4 months. Oh, wow. I'm talking days. Cami Luna's talking months. Nick, I'm visiting Ukraine now, so I'd rather not answer about Saturday relaxation. People here are breathing. Oh, yeah. It took me a second to like, Ukraine, why is, oh, yeah. It is, well, not to get political, but it is truly awful what's happening there. And I sincerely hope that there can be a resolution soon. Though, unfortunately, it looks like it's just dragging on much longer than we expect. Okay. Enough politics. Let's get back to GitHub and okay. Good. We're here. Show and explore. I'm going to show, remember, I want to show you data, okay? I want to show you data. And we're going to open up a tool I made, which should be, yeah, this thing. Okay? I coded it and vibe coded this. I'm embarrassed to say the word vibe code, but I do it all the time. And I want to show you that in my GitHub, I have pen pressure data for a bunch of pen pressure response data for a bunch of brands. And we'll take a look at the X3 Pro pen. Okay, so I have a bunch of X3 Pro pens, and I've measured them in 2004 in September, and in 2024 and 2025 in September. So they're a year apart. So we'll learn a couple of things. We'll see how much better I've gotten at testing, and we'll see if there are any differences, and we'll see these specific numbers. So let's take a look. Just keep in mind, you're seeing one pen will be represented by 2 lines, right? So let's drag this in here. Okay. So what do you notice? Again, the pens, the maximum pressure is where they go up here, okay? And they fall between 300 to almost 500. So most of them are actually good, but about a third of them, I'm just guessing from visually, are in the okay range. So this is, and they're in the mid-high okay range. They're almost good. So I wish XP Pen would have their max pressure be a little bit more here. But you know, I'm okay with this, okay? I have found no pattern to it. X3 roller, X3 slim, X3, it's just all over the place. Doesn't even matter when they were created. It's not like the old ones are worse, the new ones are better. It's just random, okay? So that's the maximum pressure. You can't see the IAF, but coincidentally, I'm not good at IAF testing, but because I've improved my testing abilities, I have gotten a little bit better, okay? And let's just see the data I have. Let's zoom in. So these lines don't connect, and what this means is this is the lowest pressure I was able to consistently measure. What I'm seeing here is a variation on these pens, okay? And they're falling. This is the X3 Pro. I see them vary between like 2 to 5, okay? Now, don't take these literally, okay? Because remember, I'm not good at testing these yet, and I've changed my process to get better. What you want to look at here is, this is P001. This takes this curve and extends it to hit the bottom, okay? So you can't look at this and say where the bottom is. It's not even clear. But if you take a look at the P001, right? You'll notice, so this is the lowest I actually measured. And some of these are good. Some of these are 2.3. Some of these are 2.5. Occasionally you see it 5.8. And then but if you do the extrapolation, you'll see 2.0. 5.6, 2.5, 5.0, 2.0. So statistically, I would say, and one is literally 3.0, I would say that they have a little bit of variance, okay? Now, because I'm still kind of a novice at testing IAF, don't take these numbers literally. Don't like, oh, 7pen says that it's having, because I'm not good at this yet. I don't claim to be good. I just want to be honest with you about the data I have collected, okay? Snow Leopard, you got to go. Okay, hey, thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it. Oh, and I'll take a look at your art, Snow Leopard. Thank you. So this is what I have with the X3 Pro pens. Again, I have developed new measuring techniques, so I think I can get even better than this, okay? But I have to do those measurements again. At least now it'll be easier to do my measurements. Okay, sorry. So you see that. Pressure banding was, yeah, excellent. Excellent. None observed. None observed. Okay, we'll just make that over like this. We talked about pressure scan rate. I'll just do it for you so everyone knows. We can do it live. New image, okay? And this is a fun test. I'm gonna pick, it's very simple. I have to show you the overhead though for this one. You just do this. Let me pick a different brush. This is a silly one to use, I guess. Yeah, that's good enough. You just do this. I'm doing it slow for a second. And what you're checking to see if it misses any strokes, okay? And you do it real fast. Oops, I clicked on a button. I didn't really see any missed strokes, okay? Maybe just a second ago I thought I saw a missed one, but I would say you'd never notice any missed strokes, so let me do it one more time actually with a different pen. I'm gonna just double check this. Sometimes there can be a little bit of a lag in the apps. Let me close this. I want, which pen? The fine liner, classic pen. Let me reset the fine liner. Oh, F5 function. Okay, delete. I think I saw a misstroke actually, but it's hard to tell because of the way I'm doing this. I don't think you'll miss any strokes, and I think if you do dots, I didn't take any missed dots either. Okay, so I would say I really don't need to be doing this test. Every tablet does it well, honestly. I think it was good. I would just say occasionally saw a misstroke. Like 1 out of 50. Right? Could have been the app. Right? So there's no reason to worry. So no reason to worry. That was pressure scan rate, sorry. Okay. What about parallax? I didn't show you parallax. Okay, we'll take a look at it. Take a look at it. I gotta take off my glasses for this one. Oh, this is tough, actually. Okay. How do I do this? This isn't a big tablet, so I have to get it close to my eyes because I have old eyes. Oh, I know what to do. I'm gonna bring it up like this and make it easier for me. Okay, so this is gonna look silly. I'm looking at it. Okay. You can't see my face, I know. I'd call it okay. It's not great. It's not bad. It's okay. I need to find a better way of measuring it in a more consistent and measurable way, rather than just using my eyes. I just don't know how to do that. But if anyone had any ideas on how to measure parallax, I'd love to see it. Like maybe I should build like a 3D thing that holds a camera in a certain way and has a grid on the tablet so you can see the, I don't know, it's complicated. Sorry, there's a couple of comments here. When you did fast strokes, I didn't notice misstrokes, but I saw very notable lag on video. I think that's the encoding. I don't think that was, I didn't see it with my eyes. I didn't see it. I have two screens showing this, and I didn't see that on either one of them. Any kind of lag. Let's see. Okay, so that was parallax. That was parallax. Let's move this back a little bit. Get the screen up. So far, I'm really liking this new setup. It's making it easier for me to show you content because I'm doing everything on Windows, which I know very well about, and the Mac is doing the streaming part. And I'm not struggling with it, so this is working well for me. I'm liking it. Okay. The next thing was, so this was, I would call it okay. Okay. Not great, not bad. Okay. Totally acceptable. Totally fine is better. Acceptable sounds like you're saying, it's bad, but you live with it. But actually, it's fine. Okay / typical, right? Nothing. Pointer lag. Let's see pointer lag. Where's my pen? Again, this is a subjective test. Pointer lag is due to like smoothing in the tablet, and I would say there's a little bit of it. I do think it's a little bit, just a bit more than a typical, but not a big deal, right? It's a little bit more than typical. Let's see, pointer lag. So slightly, oops, not a lightly. Slightly more than typical. And this is like normal for XP Pen. It's digitizers, right? So if you're very sensitive pointer lag, all pen tablets have them, or pen displays. But Wacom tends to has less. Huion just a little bit more than Wacom, and then XP Pen a little bit more than Huion. Surface texture. Let's talk about it. Okay, hang on a second. Okay, I know what to do. I know what to do. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. And so what I have in front of me is the Moving Pad 14, Moving Pad Pro 14. The reason I brought this is it's got my favorite texture. I love the texture on this. I love it. Right now it's my sort of my standard for texture. So I'm going to move the pen on this, okay? This is the X3 Pro pen with the default plastic nib. And I'm hearing it. Let me take off one of my earbuds. And I'm feeling it. Hearing and feeling. Oops. I'm drawing. I didn't mean to draw. Okay, let's do this again. I should do like a wine connoisseur explanation of this. You know how they say that the wine has terroir, notes of tobacco and chocolate, floral finish, cherry, you know. I should find some way of describing the texture. Okay, here's my verdict. It's excellent. It's actually very good, okay? It feels not exactly, but very similar to the Wacom Moving Pad Pro, which is my standard now. So I'm gonna say that, where's my mouse here? Surface texture. So similar in feel and noise with the same pen, okay? To Moving Pad Pro 14, which means this is very good, right? And of course the pen there's no slippery feeling. No slippery feeling. And very, you know, a light noise. Nothing bad. When I say light noise, I'm just saying you can hear the scratching. Not scratching. I don't want to say you're scratching the tablet. I'm just saying you can just hear the pen move, right? Backlight bleed. Well, I don't know. Let's test it out. Well, let me do that later because There's all these environmental conditions, right? Let's see. Camille says, I have MacBook Air and wonder if I can set that up for streaming my cons. I think so. I don't think there's any limitation for that. Okay, let's see. Other inputs. So the other inputs, this does not have any express keys, dials, slider, and touch. Okay, so it's no, no, no in all of these. Nope. 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 And nope. VESA is yes. I'll figure out which size it is later. Comes with stand, right? Stand. It does use VESA mounting. Don't you like how they have a structured plan for all this now? Identify model number of stand. Let's do that. XP Pen Store. XP Pen Store. It is. You think you're going to stream this weekend, Cami Luna? Or next weekend? I gotta take a look. I don't know which stand is which. We'll take a look at a couple of these. I don't think it's this one, the ACS 15. No, it's not this. That's a different kind of stand. Oops. Stand. Oh, what? Okay, hang on. Stand. It's not the ACS 05. That's too portable for me. It's ACS 18 maybe? Nope. Not that one. AC41 maybe? Nope. I have that one. Or something like it. ACS 18 adjustable? I'm not seeing it actually. Let's just go ahead and search for the Artist Pro. If they list the stand, Pro. It is my favorite actual stand for a pen display that attaches in this manner. Artist 22 Pro Gen 2. Let's take a look at the accessories. Specs. They don't mention the stand. They say that it has one, but they don't mention that the model number. Okay. Oh, there's a good question. Screen protector. So it does not come with the screen protector, right? As always, if you know, okay, I'm gonna try this on. I'm going to do some test streams with the devices I have either tonight or tomorrow. Okay, evening. Okay, perfect. So screen protectors. Should you get a screen protector for this? My advice is standard for all tablets. For pen displays, if they come with etched glass. If they come with etched glass, you don't need a screen protector, sort of. But some people do scratch their screens, and so if you're concerned about it, I've never scratched a screen, except the Wacom Moving, which has a very it's soft. The screen is soft. It scratched the anti-glare coating off of it or something. But go to a site like Photodon. Let's go there. Okay. Improving screen images. Actually, whoa, they have some pre-cut screens, by the way. And you can check here. And there's other companies I just want to show you. They have ones designed for certain devices, like the Artist 22 Plus. Now, I'm not saying these are cheap, so let's just be clear on what you're getting. This is, we'll just use this as an example. You can choose glare or non-glare. So you'd want to get a clear one because the thing already has anti-glare protection. And it's, how much is it? I'm trying to just put it in my cart or something. Per piece with kit. Okay, it's $45. So they are not cheap, okay? I don't know if they have one for the 22 Pro, but at least we know how much it costs. 22 Pro Gen 2. But if they don't have it, you can actually just do a custom cut. So I'll just go here and show you how they do that. So you just have to get the measurements right. And it has to go over the glass. It has to go beyond the screen. So you have to keep that in mind. And they have instructions. Okay? So if you're sensitive, if you're worried about scratching, get a screen protector. I'd rather, because once you scratch them, you can't unscratch them. Okay? Okay, give me a minute. I'm gonna get some water and get some coffee. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry for the delay. I got my coffee, I got my water, and my cozy hoodie. Hi, JoinXFi. I'll still be going for a while. And in fact, I'm probably going to do another stream later today. Damn, this tune is so Italian. It is. Yeah, some of these definitely are like that. Speaking of that topic, there was okay, I can't play the audio because YouTube will ban me for life or something, but I'm just going to show you something. Hang on a second. Okay, let me show you. Let's see, I want the Mac. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so hopefully I won't let YouTube play here. Actually, let me do it on my other machine. Sorry, my mistake. Laptop. Yep. And then I want. Yeah. Okay. So, let me show this to you. If you want really classic Italian restaurant, this is the one to get. No, none of that. I want. So, just for reference, this is the starting point, which is this song by Billy Idol called Eyes Without a Face. Okay? So that's and everyone I think knows or might have heard this song, right? Which is one of my favorite songs, by the way, Eyes Without a Face. And why is my face is, okay, great. So this is Eyes Without a Face. And it's kind of a interesting song. It's a little bit of a rock song. But most importantly, there's a cover of it by, oh man, what is that guy's name? Oh, I gotta remember the cover. Which is like, oh man, where is... He sings it like a song you'd hear in Olive Garden. Oh, I'll have to find it. I can't remember the guy's name. He's an older singer, but yeah, there's one where he sings it as if he's crooning it, as if it's an Olive Garden song. I will try to find it later. Otherwise I would have sent you the link in here. Okay, back to testing. Back to testing. Where was I? I was at. Okay, VESA is touch supported. We got. Does it support single USB-C connection? It does, right? So I would say it supports USB-C. So it's single USB-C connection to computer plus external power to wall. You got to do that. Okay. Are cables? That's a good question. What cables are included and which? Let's close some of these things here. We want the Artist 22 Pro Gen 2. XP Pen Artist 20 Pro Gen 2. I might have a new music playlist just to give it some changes. What comes in with it? In the box. So this is the question. What's in the box? Did I miss it? Oh yeah, here we get. So you get a USB-A to USB-C cable. You get a USB. So this is probably the full featured one. And you do get, I think, a 3-in-1 as well. Let me double check. No, you don't. You don't get it. It doesn't use a 3-in-1 cable. Okay. So okay, let me just note that down. There is no 3-in-1 cable. No 3-in-1 cable. 3-in-1. You do get a full-featured USB-C, right? And for connections, it's always good to have a picture of what's going on here. So the one we're going to take a look at is connection diagram. Where was it? Should be here. I always think it's super important people know this, because if you don't, it's gonna mess up. So let me just take a screenshot of one of these. What the hell is this thing? I don't know why it has that. That's quite irritating. There we go. So this is the way I have it connected. And this is the way you can also connect it, okay? So there's these two different ways. And let me just go ahead and paste them so that it'll be in my notes. That's one of them, and let me get the other one. This is one thing I wish more reviewers actually covered, because I think it's very important. Oh, conflicting pages, thanks. It's very important to know this style of connection. Otherwise you'll end up... There we go. This was the other one. So if you have an HDMI cable, you'll be fine. But you also need a USB to get data, so that's this combo. So be aware, be aware. Okay. Does it? Yeah. Other inputs we covered. Vesa size we covered. Does the stand wobble? Okay, so it's a good question. Does the stand wobble? Let's take a test. So if you're like doing this to it, yeah, right? Like like every stand will. But if you're just drawing with it, it's not wobbling, okay? Like I'm pushing down hard, there's no detectable wobble. So there's no effective wobble, right? You just have to be deliberately shaking it to get any wobble to show up. So I will say that, no, it does not wobble. None while drawing. Does the stand support height adjustment? No. This is not, no, not that kind of stand. Does the stand support tilt adjustment? Yes. And there's some numbers they have. TBD on this, I don't know the model number, right? I'll have to ask. Follow up with XP Pen. Legs, no legs. Fans, nope. Noise, nope. Heat. Okay. So now I've had it on for how many hours? So the heat profile has changed a little bit. Let me take a look here. I've been on for 2.5 hours. So it has warmed up in that time. I would say it's slightly warm everywhere at 100% brightness, okay? With increased heat toward the top part here, okay? Oh, you know what? I have an idea. Give me a second. Now I'm back. So there's a box, which I couldn't find for a second, of testing cameras. And what do you do with a box of testing cameras? You test things. And I bought, I don't know, I think this was like $500. It's a thermal camera. So I'll be able to answer now specific questions about the heat, okay? So let's do that. Now, there's different versions of this. It's a Fluke camera. I don't know if it's good or bad. I think it's good. Someone recommended it to me. I think Cube did, or Tablet Kitten. That's it. That's it, Albert. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Albert's got it. I'm just going to bring it up so everyone... I just could not think the name. Again, I'm not going to play it because you... I mean, I'll play it without any music. It's Paul Anka, Eyes Without a Face. Okay? This is amazing stuff. This is what you got to have. And you know what I'll do? I'm actually going to... I'm going to put it in chat. I know how now. I'm just going to start the live stream on my channel. I'll talk about that in a second, Ray. Let me just make sure everyone knows about Paul Anka. It's critical. It's critical. I want the live, and I want to open up the live stream, and I'm seeing myself now, and you're seeing me, or you can't see this yet. But let us pop out the chat. It's interesting seeing myself delayed. Now I can... Where'd the chat go? There we go. This is excellent. Now I can see the chat, and I don't have to... this solves a big problem for me. I used to have... I could never figure out how I'm going to give you a message, but now it's easy, right? Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I don't have to switch to my Mac for comments anymore. Or at least if I want to say something. If I have to show them, I do. But this is better. Okay, let's just make sure everyone knows. Is there a better one to use? This is 100 and... Okay. Okay, so we'll just pick this one. Maybe this is good enough. Control C and Control V. Here we go. Paul Anka. Eyes Without a Face. So if you want to like listen to like something that sounds like an Italian restaurant music, like Olive Garden, this is the song. Okay. Thank you again, Albert. That was like, you saved me. You saved me. I appreciate it, truly. Okay. Let me close some of these windows. And let me also copy this link, because I'm going to need this later in my show notes. And so this was product page. Yep. I think this was launched in 2024 or 2025. We'll double check. We'll ask Google. Let's see, when was... You know we're not going to ask Copilot, right? When was Artist Pro... Sorry. XP Pen Artist Pro 22 Gen 2 launched? Because I cannot remember. Okay, early this year. That's probably why I thought 2024. So January 2025. I'll accept this as the correct answer. We'll do a little bit of verification. Yeah. That's good to know. So it is this year. I'm just late in looking at it. Okay. And then... finding music to run my streams is something I'll definitely just... Yeah. I mean, not everyone does that, but for me, if I was just talking to you and just listening to, like, you know, nothing, it would drive me crazy. Because it's too much like talking to myself. Okay, but Rain had a question. What were those mini PCs you recommend? I may have a list. Let's take a look, Rain. Let's go. Oops, here we go. Nope, no, not that. There we go. Okay. I love music too, Cami Luna. I absolutely adore having music around. I listen to all. I mean, I listen to everything. I will listen to country, classic, synthwave. Love synthwave. 80s rock, 90s rock. Uh, I haven't really kept up, to be quite honest, with the 2020s so much. Though I was listening to a lot of what's this artist's name? She has a lot of weird makeup on. Who is that? It's almost like she's doing a drag performance. Okay, what is? God, I gotta figure this. Singer. What's the one song? Something about a pony club. I know this sounds awful. Okay, I just can't remember her name. Okay, let's look at Pink Pony Club by who? Who is the artist? Club. It's a song by somebody. Chapel Roan. Yeah, I was listening to her a year or two ago. She's really good, by the way. I can't work with country music or lo-fi because it makes me sleep. Well, totally, I can understand that. I can understand lo-fi especially because it is kind of, well, it's lo-fi. Okay, where were we? Connections, cabling, ergonomics, heat. Oh, I was taking a photo with heat. And I totally like spaced out on everybody and got distracted by Paul Anka. Okay, here we go. See this, you'll see my face here for a second. So this is the thermal camera. And I need to plug it in like this. Doesn't fit with my case. Thank you, Samsung. Appreciate it. I got an idea. I'm going to take the Samsung out of the case. I can't use it with the iPad. You got to get specific versions for different devices, unfortunately. Yeah, Rain, I think that's fair. I think the way in which it's worse is, tilt compensation is not always, it's basically perfect with Wacom, right? And it's good with a lot of tablets, but XP Pen struggles a little bit with it to be consistent. It's good on some angles and bad on one angle sometimes. In this tablet, I didn't see that problem. Sorry, I gotta get this thing out here. Okay. I gotta just have a phone reserved for doing this stuff, Maybe I'll get like a Pixel 10 or something. Okay, remind me later. That's interesting. Okay, what do I got to do here? I think I turn on the camera and I switch it. No, there's an app. There's an app actually. Fluke. What is that darn app called? Fluke. Actually, let me take a look at it. It's actually, so I know it's so boring for you guys. I'll take a look. Fluke thermal camera. And then we'll deal with Rain's question on mini PCs. Okay, let me take care of this. Sorry for the delay, Rain. IC, it's called IC. I thought I installed this, but maybe I did not. IC. I guess I didn't install it. Okay, whatevs. By the way, I hate that Google calls their store the Play Store, because I hate typing the word Play because it always makes you think I'm getting games, and I'm like, I just wanted to say App Store. Let's see, IC Fluke. Fluke IC, let's install it. Okay, so we'll get real hardcore answers about heat. So it's been on at 100% brightness for 3 hours now. Let's open this thing up. Okay, yes, I accept. While using app, sure. Sorry, I didn't mean that. Let's take a look. So I know you can't see what I'm seeing, but where I'm trying to get this thing to. Stupid. Is it permissions thing? It's not working, is the problem. Okay, let me try just disconnecting it and then connecting it. You open Fluke IC to handle USB camera, always, yes. Hello. Okay, I see it now. Okay, and I know you can't, but we'll talk about that. Oh, I had my hand covering the camera. Okay. So, let me take a picture of this, and we'll discuss the picture, okay? And I'm going to be making this part of my normal... So I'm going to take a couple of pictures. I'm going to take a picture at the center, and then at the bottom, and then toward the top. Okay. So, and now that I have those pictures, I'm going to put them on the Discord or something. How should I do this? What's the easiest way? Maybe I'll just put them up on Google Photos or something. Otherwise, people will be complaining to me about... Actually, you know what? I'm going to put it on the Discord, even if it will confuse people. Let's see. Where are the photos? Can't see the photos. Let's figure out where these photos are. Fluke IC. I guess I have to open them in the app. So I'm going to send these to... Share these to Discord. Let's see. This works the way I think it's going to work. Under general, I'm going to say IR photos of artist. Sorry, and once I get this up there, 22 Gen 2. Let's just make it easy for me to show you, okay? Okay, they're in the Discord. Let's see, Rain. Honestly, considering the XP Pen Artist 16 Ultra, just because you get OLED 4K. Oh, sorry, I answered. We talked about this. Okay, let me get the Discord open. I'll try, Albert, but I don't think it's going to reveal. It's really hard to, unless the pen is perfectly calibrated to be underneath the tip. It gets misleading to take a photo, but I'll take one. To at least show you what I can. But it is highly... let me load Discord. Install Discord. Here, I'll put my face up while I'm doing that. Everyone still having fun? Thank you for being with me. Like I said, honestly, one of the reasons I'm so late in making my videos for some tablets and writing my notes is it's not fun. It's not fun to do all these measurements. But when there's an audience, it keeps me much more engaged and keeps the energy flowing for me. So thank you for giving me that energy. Okay, once I get Discord up, then we'll take a look at it. This is a new mini, well, not a new mini PC, but one I've set up recently for this purpose. Okay, Discord. I'm going to need to, okay, I have to take a phone camera picture with this thing to log in. Hello, why is it not doing it? There we go. I'm gonna rescan the QR code. Log in. Okay, great. So now you can see my screen. And let's take a look at the chat. Should be under general. Yeah, here we go. Let's take a look. So these are, unfortunately, they're rotated this way, so I have to unrotate them, okay? So let's just save all these. I think I can, is there a way to quick save all these somehow? Or you know what else I can do? Let's go into the IC app. I just want to show you them and not have it be messed up looking. So I'm going to select all these and put it in my Google Photos or something. Share in. Yeah, sure, we'll upload them to my Google thing. Upload. Thank you, Cami Luna. Thank you. I love to hear that. I just got my Mac to pick up my Galaxy Book screen on OB. Fantastic, fantastic. How did you connect them? Did you use like a? Yeah, I'm really curious how you connected to got the screen. Did you? Are you doing? Is it like a wireless broadcast, or did you use like a device? Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna get the Google Photos. And then we're gonna download. I'm sorry, and edit. Unfortunately, I feel like I'm falling ill. Everyone I know right now is falling ill. Wow. I don't know why I have this photo. Sometimes I accidentally take screenshots, so it's funny to see what accidentally got a screenshot taken. It's a screenshot of a YouTube video I was watching. It's nothing bad, by the way. Let's see, I used a wide video capture card that I normally use when streaming. Okay, like a cam link, because I'm using one of those in another. I have another desktop setup for streaming. That's cozier than this one that I'm gonna try maybe tonight or tomorrow to stream with. Okay, I think I downloaded it. Let's take a look here. We'll do a little bit of editing as well. Extract all. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So let's take a view. And which way is right side up? Okay, right side up is I have to flip everything to the left. Okay, or rotate. Let's take a look. Rotate left. Okay, here we go. So this is my first photo with it. And what do you notice? And this matches my experience. Though I would say it's probably, it makes some things clearer. So the middle of the screen, after, it's like 2 hours, at first it was kind of totally cool, but it's now 33.7 Celsius. Now, as many of you know, I'm not necessarily a fan of fake temperature scales like Celsius or System International. I'm joking, folks. I'm joking. European folks, please know I'm joking. But I don't know how to translate them in my head, so I need to do a little bit of math to Fahrenheit F. Okay, so the middle of the screen is 33.7, which means it's... Jesus, is this... oh, not 330 degrees, but 33. Okay, I don't know why this site's doing it, but we'll take a look. It's 92 degrees. So what's human body temperature? 98.7? So I thought it was actually warmer than that. I'm surprised. So it's not cool, but it's slightly less than body temperature, which is weird. I'm not sure if I'd agree with that, to be completely honest. And the top temperature is across the top. I pointed it at the middle spot, okay? Is, let's see. My capture card is Elgato HD60S Plus. Okay. It uses one HDMI cable and use. Okay, get it. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I have an Elgato. It's one you plug into the computer, like inside. It's a card, a PCIe card, I guess. It does a great job. It's super low latency too. But of course you have to have a desktop computer. Okay, the top part is 43.2 degrees. So that is. I don't even know why this thing is doing it this way. Convert 33.7 Celsius to F. That's the, sorry, 43. 43.2 is 109. So let's round it up, okay? So let's write that down here. What I noticed was in my show notes, so after, this is actually for 3 hours, center was 33.7 Celsius, top was, what did it say? 109.76. Okay, so not hot. And I'm glad we picked these numbers. Oh, sorry, I mixed up Fahrenheit and Celsius. 43.2 Celsius, which is this. And I'm gonna start collecting this information for tablets, okay? Because I want to give people like what they should expect, okay? Okay, so that was good. And I would say I would call it a hotspot, sort of like strip at top is warmer by 10 degrees Celsius. So that's interesting, right? Now the photo, if I show it to you again, the photo makes it look like it's this, I don't know, I would guess that to be a half-inch strip. And let me see if I personally feel that way. And that's at the very top of the glass. Remember, it has this kind of bezel, right? So that's at the bezel, but not the beveled edge. And does it go over? Yeah, it does go. So the diagram is accurate, the picture. And it's hotter a little bit toward the middle, but now at least you see, okay? So that was good. That's good to know. That's good to know. I hope you all appreciated that we got a little bit of infrared technology to do this. Funny how we have no clue of Celsius like everyone else in the world, and Fahrenheit makes so much sense. I know. I objectively believe Fahrenheit is better. It's okay. I'm going to do my rant again. Fahrenheit is better because it deals in a better human scale, and it has been unfairly maligned by the System International community because it's not arbitrary. The Celsius people will have you think that Fahrenheit is arbitrary and Celsius is not arbitrary, when in fact they're both completely arbitrary, okay? In terms of how big the units are. And 100 is a good, 100's a good value. Everyone knows what 100 does. Sorry, I'm just rubbing my eyes a little bit. Okay. And I try as I have, I just cannot deal with Celsius. And I've tried. I have tried. Okay, we got the infrared camera view. I love that camera now. Usage scenario with Android. We'll try that in a second. Actually, let me before that, let's respond to Rain's comment. Cami Luna. Oh, let's take a look at the live stream. Yes, Cami Luna. Absolutely. Let's do that. Let's see, in live stream react. Let's see, you got your MacBook Air, and then I see that's the Samsung, and you're capturing it through, I see the Elgato. Oh, and you've got the Intuos Pro Small 2025. Fantastic. Oh, you got a Stream Deck too. Yeah, I have 2 Stream Decks on my desk. They're so helpful with live streams. It's so incredibly helpful. Okay, so you're going to be, if I understand, you're going to be using, because you have concepts up here, I see on the left, and you're going to be streaming you're gonna be doing it there and streaming it on the from the MacBook. Is that right? I think these kind of two streaming setups work so well. And I actually am inspired by your example here, Cami Luna, because I have a Mac, like an older Mac Studio, which is still plenty powerful, but I am thinking of downsizing it because I don't think I need it to be as powerful. I'm thinking about, and I don't want to have just another PC there. I'm thinking about replacing it with my MacBook Pro and just doing a very similar setup to what you have. The only difference for me is, and let me show you the overhead camera. Oh gosh, you guys aren't seeing what I'm seeing. I'm sorry. So this is the picture, Cami Luna. Why is it not showing? Come on. Sometimes it doesn't flip over, so it's like really irritating. Okay, there we go. So yeah, this is the Samsung. This is the Elgato device she mentioned, tablet, and then streaming from this. So my setup conceptually is very similar to this, and I'm going to show you what's going on in my world here. Let's see. Oh, what are we looking? Oh, we are looking at me. It was confusing because I saw your desktop on my desktop, so I got doubly confused. Okay, let's. So, actually, let me pan left here. That's my mini PC. Okay, that's the one I'm actually using the tablet on. And then it's connected. You can ignore that box there. It's connected to this. What is that? Rodecaster video. There's multiple HDMI inputs there. There's my two Stream Decks. Okay, super useful for me. And then those cables, the single cable, USB-C cable from the Rodecaster video goes back, and you see under this monitor on the left side of it, there's a little silver edge of the Mac Studio. So I want to replace that with something like you've got, which is instead of the Mac Studio, just use I have a MacBook Pro. Right? I think it would simplify my wiring and some other things, so that's what I'm aiming for. Right? It'll also mean that if you look here, I've got a keyboard and a mouse here. Right? You can see there's one mouse here. There's another, and that goes to the Mac, these keyboard and mouse. This mouse, I'm going to let it follow, goes with this keyboard. Oops, right? So it's complicated setup for me. Right? It's complicated setup for me, and I'm always forgetting which keyboard I'm typing. Having that Mac with its own keyboard and its own screen will simplify how all of this works for me, because I don't have to worry, like, where the hell is my keyboard? Which one am I looking at? I'll know, so I want to get to a setup more like yours. Slightly different equipment, but the same basic structure. Okay, let's see. Right, I want to offload OBS workload to my MacBook so that the Galaxy Book can be dead. Yes, exactly. The other thing that helps me with is sometimes I have to switch what I'm demoing from a MacBook or from a Mac to something else. And so having the ability to reboot my Windows machine or whatever computer and not interfere with the stream is magical. That is so important for me. So that's why I like it. It is more complicated to think about what you're doing, but I do think the setup works better with two PCs. So that's one of my projects this weekend, is try the MacBook for this same exact setup. I think it will eliminate problems for me. It will make life easier for me. Okay, I've got too many glasses around here. Great. Thank you for sharing that, Cami Luna. I really appreciate it. I love when people share things about how they set up their systems or their environments. We did a stream where we talked about setups, and that was a super fun one for me. Okay, let's see. Let's go back here. Where was I? Okay, we covered the basics. We covered all the basic stuff. The tablet, let me just double check on, we did surface texture, pointer lag, pen pressure, we got all that. What about display? Oh yeah, this is a good one. Is there any sharpness, right? So this is complicated. So there's two ways I'm going to measure sharpness, okay? First is I always take a picture of what's happening on the, if you can see on the lower right part, I'll move my mouse there. I take a picture of this all the time to just show you what it's supposed to look like, okay? And I'm gonna, for this, I'm gonna use my what do you call this? I have two phones, an iPhone Pro 17 Max something, and I gotta find that, it's photos thing. I'll take a picture with both actually, because you never know which one's gonna be better. Okay, I'll take a couple photos here. And I'll take the same with my my Android here, okay? I was supposed to switch to my iPhone as my actual phone, but I just have been too lazy. Okay, so let's take a look at both those sets of photos. I'll start with the Android since I'm looking right at it. Let's put this into... It was sharp, and then it got not sharp. I mean the photo, not the actual sharpness of the screen. Why can't I? Let's see. Let's put this into my upload to photos. Let's take a look and see what we can determine. Give me a second as I get to Google Photos. Visit Google Photos. Okay, let's take a look at this. This picture did not come out good. It makes it look blurry, which is not what my eyes see. Let's see if the other picture came out a little bit better. It didn't capture how crisp it is, okay? So if I look at my screen with my own eyes, this picture did not capture it. You can see the pixel grid. This looks soft and blurry. It's not. It's not. If I look at it with my own eyes, there's two kinds of blur we need to talk about. One is the natural blur because, sorry, the apparent blur because the pixels are a little bit bigger because this is not a 4K screen, okay? And that's one kind of blur, and that's normal because the pixels are bigger, okay? That's not what we're talking about. The other kind of blur is like what actually happens with the glass. How does it disperse the light? I will say this is probably not the best test. Let me do one more. Let's look at something else and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm gonna get to my my document site. Testing template. Tablet notes template, that's what it was. Okay. I'm gonna download a picture, which is here, which I carefully crafted. And it looks blurry here, but when I download it, it's going to be very sharp. It's just black pixels on top of white pixels, and it's just very sharp. Let's see, sharpness test. And what I do is I'm just going to look at the image, right? And without any zoom. Maybe I'll photograph it as well. Oops, I zoomed it. I promised I wouldn't zoom it, and I zoomed it. Okay. Hang on. I would say there's just a slight bit of softness. A slight, I'd have to compare it to the Huion. So I'm just going to write down in my notes a slight bit of softness. Right? So I think overall, I would say slight softness, very slight softness. Less than the Huion, I would say. Canvas Pro 19. Slight softness. So we'll compare it to some other things, but less than Huion Canvas Pro. It is really hard to discuss the softness because, like, you know, I have to remember what it felt like with other tablets. So I may need to take more pictures. While I'm doing that, let me take a look, and we'll get to anti-glare sparkle in a second. This picture might be better from the sorry, what is this thing called I'm holding in my hand? It's called a Google. I need to install Google Photos. We'll take a look at it. Google Photos. Let's get it. Not now. Download. Okay, it'll be up in a second. We'll get there. Anti-glare sparkle while I'm talking. It's low. You'd have to get really close to see it. It's low. Low anti-glare sparkle. Where is anti-glare sparkle? AG sparkle. I would rate it as low. Yeah. Low. You'd have to be like, you know, with my eyes, you'd have to be like 4 inches away to notice it. About 4 inches, 4 to 5 inches. How much of a color effect is it? Not too intense. Yeah, it's low. Some anti-glare sparkle is not colorful. It's just kind of the brightness changes, but this one's a little colorful. So lightly colorful, which is, it's fine. Lightly colorful. I need to find again a way of measuring these things, and it's hard. It's very hard. So the sparkle is good. Sparkle is good. It could be lower, but it's good, right? It's not great, but it's good. It's good. If you look at an iPad, that's excellent, but of course they don't have that same sparkle. They don't have the anti-glare coating, so it makes it easy for an iPad. You know what I should do? I should look at the moving and compare the moving pad, because it. Let me put these side by side. Take a look. Okay, it has more anti-glare sparkle than the moving pad, so I think that's a fair statement. Okay, so good. So I'd say Moving Pad Pro has clearly better. It's one of the best I've seen for a pen display. Moving Pad Pro 14 has better AG sparkle, less rainbow effect. Okay, so that's okay. I need to take a bio break again, so I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, I am back, and now the next thing to check out is viewing angles. And for this one, I'll give you the overhead. And let me zoom out a little bit as well. Okay. And so my eyes were in a different place in the camera, so you may see it more tilted than I do. I see more of the effect than you do. I don't think there's much color shift in that direction. I don't think there's much color shift in that direction, so I'm very happy with that. And what about left, right? Same thing. I'm super happy with it, and yeah, very happy with it. Very happy with it. Right, so I'd say it's very good. What was I gonna write down here? Very happy. Very good. Some loss of contrast, which is normal. That's just what happens. Normal. And then no big shift, no obvious change, no obvious color shift, which is excellent, right? Or it's good, right? That's very good. We don't want that. Okay. Color. We talked about screen protector, and I'll just answer this question. It does not. Nope. Is first party screen protector available? I didn't see one. Let's check. OLED does rule in that department. Yes, that's a good point. The Moving Pad 14 is an OLED. Right? Is that correct? Is it an OLED? I think it is. I wanted to check the first party. Yeah, let's take a look for this. Let's see. Are there accessories? I'm looking for a screen protector or something. Okay. Chromebook supported. No, I don't see a screen protector. I don't think they have one. They said it didn't need one, so I don't think so. So I'll just put a question mark there. Didn't see one. Couldn't find one. Couldn't find one. Photodon protector would cost about $45. Okay. It's a third party. Talked about AG scroll, blacks. All this is typical pixel layout. No dead pixels. I didn't see anything. Display color fringing, that really happens with OLED. None. Which is normal for IPS. I didn't see it. Brightness, it's okay. It's fine. Right, typical. Typical is better. Okay, and then should I and could I and would I do what I think I'm gonna do? We just try this with an Android tablet. Do you think it'll work? What do people think? Do you think it'll work? Should, right? Let me just close a bunch of windows so it's not getting distracting. Okay. Let's what am I trying to do here? Give me a second. I'm gonna hate having to disconnect this, but I think that's what I have to do. But I just need a cable. That's not the cable I need. I need another cable. Give me a second as I hunt for cables. Okay, so I'm gonna try using this with an Android device. I normally don't do this, but you know, we'll see. Yes, you're right, Rain. I'm gonna leave the power in. I'm gonna disconnect the that Thunderbolt cable. Plug in this Thunderbolt cable. There's a couple of answers here. So it says no signal. Everyone saw that. Let's just plug it in and see what happens. I'm gonna turn it on because it's shut off, I think. Okay. Okay, it's on. The blue light's on. XP Pen logo is on. Connected to external pen display. Well, okay, it's working, and of course here is. Sorry, my mouse doesn't work, of course. So I have to use. This is weird, right? I have to use the X3 Pro pen. Let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens. Right. Does it work? No pressure. I was having no pressure with some other device in Concepts. So I wouldn't recommend this if you're wanting to paint on Android, honestly. Let's see, what other app can I try here? I can try Infinite Painter. I'm gonna find it though. Where the heck is it? Oh, of course. This is why I think touch is actually important. Sometimes you want to do these things and I naturally just end up touching it. I think it is in Dex mode. Let me close it. Yeah. This is Dex mode, right? Infinite. I'm typing on the wrong keyboard, of course, of course. I have to do this. This is why I think it's crazy, right? Infinite Painter. Okay, let's just get here. I'll do a blank canvas, why not? So, it could be the brush, no pressure. That's not pressure, that's the brush is doing that effect. Let's just try a basic pen. Like this one. Yeah, that's the pen, that's not pressure. I mean, it's not designed for working with Android, so I wouldn't recommend it, honestly. Right? And can you use it as a pen display, as a pen tablet? Well, let's see. How would we do that in Windows? You go to, if you're using HDMI, just disconnect the HDMI. But in Windows, there's another alternative, which is you go to, let me reconnect back to Windows. Oh, one more thing. There's no power delivery. The phone is not charging when it's connected this way. So that's one thing I will notice. So this is not really, you know, if it's going to work with Android, I want to see it doing some power delivery. Okay. We're just not there yet where apps you can just depend on an app to work with Android for these tablets. And that's not a fault of actually Pan, it's probably, okay, we're back here, and let's get back to Google and take my, so like, you know, pressure didn't work with Infinite Painter or Concepts. Okay, so I would not recommend it. Not recommended for Android. And I wanted to show using it as a pen tablet. Is that possible? Yeah, so it's possible, definitely, because yes. you can disconnect HDMI or tell Windows to not use the display. And just so everyone knows how you do that, you go to Display Settings. I have two monitors duplicated. One of them is the tablet, and then what you do is you select, instead of duplicate, first you extend, okay, because that's important here. Yeah, keep changes, right? So number 3 is the tablet. Yes, Rain. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. In fact, let me ask a question. Do you want me to do that today? Would you like me to do that today? Because that is a good topic, and I would love to actually talk about it. So let me know. Should I do that stream today? Because I'll do it. I'll do it. Right? It's a good, fun topic. And it's easy to do because I am set up to do it. Okay? And I can easily show you lots of little things. Okay? So while we're doing that, let us... sorry, I moved things around here. Let me apply this. Okay, so you can't see what I'm doing, so let me bring this here. Oh, shit. Okay, I have to move this thing away. Oh, that's great. This thing doesn't... There we go. Okay. So the bottom one is my tablet, and what you do is... First, let me just apply these changes, okay? You take this, and instead of duplicate or extend, you hit disconnect. Okay, so now the tablet's, it's like it's showing up as here, and it's disconnected. And you see no signal is what showed up. Okay, so if I click identify, nothing happens here because this thing is just. Now the question is, does it work? Okay, I guess I should have tried it before I messed. Let's first look at the driver. Does the driver freak out? Okay, so because it went to sleep, because there's no signal, you got a problem. So actually I was wrong. You cannot use it. When there's no signal, it will shut down. Some tablets will stay connected, and this does not work in the way I expected it. Now let's fix this problem. Okay, and then let's hit extend again. And then let's do keep changes, and we're back to normal. And I want to duplicate desktop on 1 and 3. So now we're back to normal. The screen is back on, and let's just verify the resolution of things to make sure I'm not at a lower. I want to use the full resolution. I am using the full resolution. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay, so let's open up Chrome here. And yeah, so the answer to this is actually no. No, you cannot. No, you cannot. I jumped the gun. When display signal is not sent, tablet shuts off completely. Now I'm going to check the docs for this because sometimes XP Pen actually says how to do it. So let's take a look. Like the design of tablets actually do this. XP Pen, Artist Pro Gen 2. Let's take a look at the docs, okay? Let me bring it up here. And let me get some water. Okay, Rain, I'll do that, okay? So when I finish the stream, I'm going to give it, I don't know, an hour or two. Oh, I don't know. We'll figure out what the time, but I will do one today, okay? But I do want a little bit of a break so I can just, get my lunch and then come back. And it's what? It's 3 o'clock now, and I've been streaming for 3.5 hours. Okay, so let us... See, Rain says, I'm not sure if I would miss Wacom Pen. I don't really press hard, so pressure range. Yeah, I understand. And so you want me to test with the Artist 12, right? That new one? Because that's a great combo. It's a fantastic combo. Okay, let's do it. I'll figure out the exact time. It won't be super late. It'll be not long after this stream, actually. Let's take a look. Do they say anything here? Oh, this is the stand. It's the ACS02. So let me just write that down, actually. I don't know why I couldn't find it earlier. ACS02. Shows you what reading will do. We're looking to see if there's anything about it here. XP Pen says that this pen has a 3 gram IF, and I think my measurements are overall correct in that regard. They don't mention anything about using it as a pen tablet here. These are nice photos. Okay, let's take a look at the manual and driver. The manual is where? Here. Let's take a look if they say anything. I don't see them talking about this anywhere. Okay, I don't see it, so I'm not going to look any further. I will do one thing. I want to calibrate this thing, because it's been a long time since I've done this actually with XP Pen. Okay, so now we want to get to, click here, and you click on, okay, that's not where calibrate is. Maybe display settings? Do they have a calibration feature? Is it under work area? Maybe I am crazy. Oops, I clicked on something I didn't mean to click on. I don't see a calibration option here. Anywhere. Maybe it's under diagnostic. Nope. Okay, I don't see a calibration option, but I'll double check. Let me check in this manual. No, that's for this website. I'll do a Control F calibrate, calibration. To ensure product, click the center of the red cross. What? To ensure the product better fits your personal, click the center of the red cross on the device. So there is a calibration feature. I just don't know how to launch it. See, range is not a problem. Usually I clamp my curve to get better control on light pressure. Clamp. So you don't need to press hard for, got it. So you get it, I get it. I tend not to do that because I just don't, I don't know why I don't do that. I should clamp to get a more consistent experience, honestly. Okay, why am I not seeing any option for calibration? Customize. I just don't see the option. It's not there. It's not under the pen. I don't see it. Okay, I'll have to research about this calibration. Well, I made it that way, Nick, so I can see. That's also, you notice the mouse is really big, right? I guess it's Are you talking about how I've customized it or just the general size? I want to make one more note here, which is on the Android. Also, no power delivery to the Android device. That's another important thing. And let me find where the calibration topic was, because I couldn't find it. Search on this page. Tracking. Oops. Okay. Why is it so big? There we go. I would say note could not find calibration option in driver, so need to investigate. Need to investigate. Let's see, ever since I gave away my Artist Pro 16 Gen 2, I've been drawing dominantly with UDMR pens. I have an Intuos Pro 2025. Okay. And dealt with pressure range they have without issue. So you've adapted to it. And what's funny is even I'm like that. Like I can actually use those pens, pressure range. But like when I do think I don't paint with pressure often, but when I do, I definitely hit their max, right? Okay, he's like, yes, make the taskbar huge so we can see what apps you prioritize. The only thing missing here, actually, now that you bring it up, is Clip Studio Paint needs to be in this. Okay. We are now syncing. Don't know why I did that. Where's Clip? I thought I had it installed. Oh, geez. Oh, yeah. I hate that Clip does this. You have to start the app. And how do you get Clip Studio Paint in the taskbar? You have to do a kind of convoluted process here. Didn't I sign in on this already? I thought I did. Okay, whatever. Go ahead and download. And then I click Paint. I thought I'll have to install Clip on this box because I newly set this up. Apparently I didn't. I thought I had Clip installed, but apparently not. Apparently not. But I will do that. Okay. I think we've covered this tablet in pretty good detail in the past 3 hours 45 minutes. I'm gonna take these notes and put them in, and we'll, maybe I'll do a separate real video on this to go through the notes with people. What I'm gonna do now is I'm going to end the stream in a few minutes. Let me put my face on. And I'm gonna set up for rain suggestion. Now, what time is it for me right now? Okay, it is 3 p.m. my time in Seattle. Also, Cammy's in the same region, so we're in the same time zone. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to take a 2-hour pause, okay? And so right now I'm gonna schedule a stream. I'm gonna just go ahead and schedule it right now, and the thumbnail is not gonna be there, but that's fine. Actually, I have to do it when the stream is off, so okay. I'm gonna schedule one for 5 p.m. my time, so 2 hours from now, okay? Slightly less than 2 hours. That'll give you some time to prepare, and we're gonna take a look at sorry, I didn't tell you what the theme of the stream is. The theme of the stream, which rhymes, is low-cost digital painting setups, right? So we're going to talk about mini PCs, and we're going to talk about other options, okay? So we'll take a look at mini PCs. We'll take a look at, I think we should talk about maybe the Samsung Galaxy Book series. I think, Cammy, you have one of those Samsungs, right? The Galaxy Book 360. We'll talk about that. It's not necessarily cheap. We're going to focus on low cost, okay? But we'll give options for people. Maybe we'll talk about the Moving Pad Pro as in the Moving as well. Actually, we'll avoid Android. We're talking about just like normal mini PCs and maybe laptops. So the goal would be to have, I mean, here's the goal we're shooting for is having, there's no way we'll be able to do a sub 500 build that I think someone would be happy with. So I'm gonna aim for a sub, how can I do this? I'm gonna aim for a sub, let's say 750, or maybe, to do everything. So you get a tablet, a mini PC, and accessories. So maybe it's between 750 to 1,000 to get everything, okay? And you should be able to get a really good, just a really good set of components out of that. And this is something that I think I'd recommend for some people instead of getting a tablet computer like a Mobile Studio Pro or a Huion Canvas Studio, super expensive devices, etc., etc. So that's what we'll do in 2 hours. Okay, everyone, thanks for joining. I'll be back in 2 hours and we'll do this separate stream, okay? So Rain, I hope you can join us then, okay? Everyone, thanks so much and I'll see you soon.